All right. Back on some delightful bangers only. Got to get through game 3 of JDG versus BLG, which we didn't finish a couple days ago. And then we'll watch FPX versus Top Esports. Should be exciting. My power rankings in shambles. FPX maybe secretly a sneaky good team. Big wins over LNG and Top Esports. They play NIP and Weibo, so we're really going to know if they're like top 10 material by the end of the week. Right? This is their upcoming schedule. So they have a tough week. Top, NIP, Weibo this week. So that's very exciting. And they have an easy week after that. And then they play JDG and IG. So good couple weeks here for LPL. All right, where are we? Game 3. JDG versus BLG.
And JDG, just kidding, I'm not your conscience, I'm much audience.
I have to watch this first, guys. I have to see Travis's dumb opinions on best of threes.
Hey, psst, buddy.
Okay, I can't watch Travis
struggling. Shit, right here. You know, something out here. It's been pretty much doubled down on. I've seen players talk a pretty big push to move the LCS towards best of threes, but it really feels like since the beginning of this year, it's been pretty much doubled down on. I've seen players talking about it. I have seen personalities talking about best of threes, but it really feels like since the beginning of this year, it's been pretty much doubled down on. I've seen players.
Yes. 2 LCS games. Yeah, it's crazy.
I have seen personalities talking about it, and even my own audience, when I polled them, has said that they would prefer best of threes as well. And I'm really worried that Riot is going to take this opinion and run with it, because this is what Mark said when I asked him about it at the start of the year.
We are very fan focused this year. I think it's one of the internal things that we're saying is like fan first. With regards to format, it's open to evaluation. We see that fans are pushing for best of 3 and a number of people are. I think, as we've talked about in the past, you always have your viewership concerns. It's worth noting that back then, 2 things were different than maybe now, which is one, there was the dual stream setup that people always love to harp on, as well as the fact that Riot Games at that time had gone from Riot Games, the main Twitch channel, to LCS1, LCS2. They like kind of fractured their viewership platform at that time. And so to be fair to the people who want best of 3, both from a competitive angle, it's something we can talk about, and then also from a viewership angle, there were some other confounding factors at that time that make it worthwhile to explore and talk about.
Now, as he mentioned in the video, we've actually done best of 3 before. In 2016 and 2017,
God, this is such
a
boring argument, Travis. It didn't work because the reasons you said.
The amount of games that you need to play when you use this format. So the solution for them was to have Saturdays and Sundays have double streams. So there were 2 Twitch streams that you could watch, or YouTube or whatever, both these games on, where you'd have a match going on one and then you have a match going on the other.
Which is something no other region has done.
Encompass all of the games that need to be played in this format.
Because Riot decided that they couldn't have 4 days of broadcast a week, that they could only have 2, so they had to put them on simultaneously because it's a problem that Riot invented.
So they opened up Friday to be an additional day. So we actually had 3 days of matches, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, with Saturday and Sunday having 2 matches at the same time. And the results of this were pretty disastrous. In fact, here's Jat explaining what happened.
A year and a half ago in the North American LCS, I was on board to going to best of 3s, right? Everyone was talking about how, you know, you can never translate best of 1 to series play.
NA will win worlds if we
competitive
just
integrity.
go to best of 3s.
And then all of a sudden, we're now saying we're going back to best of 1s. This is actually something I'm behind. I like best of ones more, but I wanted to get your
Chad, you like
just
best of
quick
ones
take
more? What
on
an
exactly
outrageous
why we're going back to
opinion.
best of one.
When we moved to best of threes, we had certain expectations.
This guy is the king douche of Riot, by
right?
the way.
I think ourselves, the teams, the pros, the community, everyone who was calling for it had expectations. It was more competitive. NA teams would get better on the international stage, better prepped, all the things you said. It would be more hype to watch. We think that, there are more games of TSM. Oh my God, like I can watch more TSM. That's fantastic. We actually alienated a significant group of fans whose viewership patterns just completely clash with the idea of a best of three. So fans will tune in, for maybe half an hour, 90 minutes. And what we've seen through surveys and like we've had now three splits of this, right? We have a set number of minutes to watch and they'll just tune in.
We assume that fans would either tune in to watch.
So why does it work in every other region? Why does it work at international events? Explain it. Explain it.
The whole match.
Yep.
Or they would tune in for the last game, right? Or game 2 and game 3, right?
And we were wrong.
Yeah, we were wrong on that.
I just was on a soapbox about how important it is to be a fan-focused league. When you make a change like this and you don't see NA getting more competitive and you don't see more people tuning in for those hype BO3s, but rather you see a group of fans who are telling us effectively like, hey, we can't watch this anymore. We want to, but we can't. So we're watching less of it. That's actually going to be long-term harmful for the league. It was actually.
Oh, really? Hey, Magus, tell me, how's LCS doing right now? Was it the best of threes that caused this decline in viewership? How'd the best of ones do there, Magus? How'd they do? I mean, it's 7 years later now, so tell me how they did.
Pretty easy decision.
How's the league
Honestly,
viewership going? How's LCS viewership, Magus?
When you have the fan sentiment, it's like, wow, actually, BO1s is just a more healthy format for the regular season if you care about the fan experience, which at the end of the day, we care about it. We talk to the Players Association. They care about it. We talk to owners. They care about it. And so this was actually somewhat less controversial than we might imagine.
Those who forget history are doomed to repeat it, as they say, and apparently we are forgetting just 6 years ago. What Riot is being cagey about and not really addressing is how bad viewership plummeted during this time. I mean, when we
oh yeah, compared to how bad viewership plummeted compared to now. Yep.
The glory days of LCS viewership, it was pretty much that entire time before best of threes were entered. But wait, Travis, the best of three crowd yells back at me, is because there were 2 streams, and that's actually what ended up hurting everything the most. And I'm not convinced that hiding Shopify and Immortals on a different stream would not be better for the LCS. I think there's a world where being able to put some of that stuff elsewhere would actually increase sentiment. But I can understand the idea that, hey, it does make it harder to follow the whole storylines whenever 2 things are happening at once. All right, you want to do best of threes again, but you don't want it to be 2 streams. Now remember, when we first did this, we had to use 3 days to encompass all of this, right? Friday had just 1 stream, but the other 2 days had 2 streams, which means if we were to do it again, we would need 5 days. Probably actually wouldn't need 5 days because
there's fewer teams in the league.
20% of the league. So let's make it 4 days. So
yes.
Now we're looking at Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
it's too
Sunday
expensive.
to be able to keep the same format except make all the matches best of 3. And what's very funny about this is that we just went through a whole year of everyone talking about how bad viewership would be to have games on the weekdays. The idea is weekdays bad, don't put games on the weekdays. So let's just ignore that for a second and decide that we are going to put things on the weekdays. Now we're in a situation where Riot has to turn their studio on 4 times
it's just too expensive, guys.
2 times a week. You are essentially doubling.
Here's the reason, guys. Here's the reason why we don't have best of threes in NA. This is the only reason, and it's the reason that Riot will not say, because it costs more money to do more days. That's it. It's the only reason. LPL is on 7 days a week. LCK is on 5 days a week. LEC is on 3 days a week. It's just money. Now, why does it cost so much money? Because they are in LA. Because they made this fucking choice in 2013, and they will not move it to a place where it's cheaper to operate. That's why. This is entirely the reason.
For the LCS. And I don't know if you all remember, but we just had what 11% of the company laid off, including a ton of people in the LCS and across esports elsewhere. And then we also had them announce that there's going to be no spring finals roadshow. They are clearly trying to cut back costs a lot. And so I don't see them ever deciding that, yeah, we're going to double the cost of producing the LCS by adding
They can move
twice as many days.
Move
to
it
the
to
LCS
Texas.
broadcast.
Move it to Vegas.
Again, I'm not even sure that
You can
fans
move it.
want 4 days of the LCS, given what viewership looks like. But again, let's table that. But let's just focus on the fact that it seems really unlikely that Riot would double the cost of producing LCS regular season splits. This leads me to why I think the whole best of 3 conversation is a scam. Because people don't really know what they are asking for in these moments. We are not going to get 4 days, we're going to get 2. And if you're going to 2 and you refuse to do 2 streams, then you have to cut the amount of matches that you're playing in half. That is how math works. Which means that instead of every team playing each other twice in a split, they're going to only play each other once. I think a lot of people won't like that because teams tend
You can
to
do best of
change
2s.
strength over the course of the split. But maybe you're fine with
You can
that.
do best of 2s
Here's
in a
the
longer
thing.
broadcast day.
You are trying to go to best of 3s because you want teams to play more and to get more games in. The problem is in this situation is that you're probably still only going to get 2 games a week, and they will be against 1 team instead of 2. The only world in which you get to play more games is if your team screws up and loses. Maybe that's still fine with you. Maybe you're like, hey, at least it's more games and I can enjoy this. And best of 3s are maybe more entertaining to you, but are they more entertaining than getting to see your team play more than once a week? Because that's probably what will happen. Your team will only play on Saturday or Sunday in this situation, and I don't think that's going to help viewership because you'll probably have entire days that people just decide to skip. Ultimately, what ends up happening is you get a few more games a split at the cost of increased diversity of opponents every week, at the cost of getting to see your team play more than once, and at the cost of, I think, viewership along the way, because I still am not convinced that best of 3s are better for viewership, at least in the West. I don't think this is a better thing for everybody. I don't think the players, the teams, and folks will if they can consider what this would cost them. That's kind of why I am against the best of 3 stuff. I don't think that people really consider how this would have to be played out in order for it to work.
This is so Travis,
And I
dude.
don't think that people will be happy if Riot ends up
This
deciding
is
to do
so
this, which I think
Travis.
there's a good chance that they will do this because so many people are pushing them towards it. Anyway, this video doesn't have a sponsor. So speaking of scams, I would love to just mention that if you would like to support the content, because
No, I don't. Your content sucks. Let's talk about this. So again, the only reason is because of money, guys. It costs money to turn on in especially Los Angeles, where freelancer production day rates are super high. It costs a lot of money. So again, we're not addressing the fact that this thing doesn't have to be in fucking Los Angeles. It does not have to be in LA. It was a mistake to put it in LA. Absolutely a fucking crippling, stupid mistake. Okay? So that's why. Now, here's the thing about Travis. The thing Travis is most deathly afraid of in the entire world is even a tiny amount of risk. A infinitesimal amount of risk is too much for him. So what he is saying is he would rather consign the LCS to its current slow, grim, painful demise than make a change that might have a chance of reviving it, but might also kill it quicker. We can't know which one it's going to do, but I can say categorically that if nothing is changed about LCS, it will die. So we need to do everything we can. We need to experiment. We need to try things. That's why I love a lot of what LCS is doing with the product right now. I think a lot of Mark's changes have been very good. But you cannot leave it alone because, as we have seen, doing nothing equals death. So if you want to keep it alive, you have to be willing to push the envelope. Okay? And any kind of example about, well, the best of 3s crushed our viewership. As Richard Lewis would say, how's your viewership today, dickhead? How's your viewership today? Because it clearly wasn't best of 3s that killed LCS viewership. Was it? Was it? Move it out of LA, add an extra day of LCS, play best of 2s. Play best of 3s. Nobody mentions just not having it in Los Angeles. Why does it have to be in LA? Tell me. Tell me why it has to be in LA. I don't get it. And this video is so dishonest that Travis made about what the actual causes are and why would best of threes, and he doesn't even address best of twos or other formats, kill the league, and what are solutions to the cost issues. Yeah, Jumpy J, man, move it online. Nobody cares. Exactly, move it online. Let the teams play remotely. It's absurd, guys. These arguments are absurd. You absolutely cannot do nothing with the LCS. It is dead as it stands right now. You must do something different to change the reality. Ridiculous. It's just fucking ridiculous. I can't believe it. I can't believe. It's so ridiculous. Everybody at Riot is just so disingenuous about this issue. And they just lie nonstop about the issues that caused it. They caused the issues. They made a shitty best of three system. And then when they say, oh, well, we're going back to best of ones, it's never revisited. How did the best of ones do? Why is every other region, LEC is still on best of ones for 3 weeks, but they do best of threes and best of fives otherwise? So crazy. I don't understand. Like, one of the only ways to revive LCS is for North American teams to do consistently better at international tournaments, and they will not ever do that unless they have more competition. I might have to make a video about this, guys. It's so stupid. It's like so stupid. Like, we don't have a lot of opportunity to make NA better, guys, because the competition just sucks in NA. But you certainly are not going to do it with best of ones. You certainly are not going to do it with best of ones. I can tell you that. Would best of threes help? Maybe. Maybe not. But it's not going to hurt them. I will tell you straight up, it's not going to hurt team competitiveness, and it will probably make it better. All right, BLG here. Interesting that we see Tristana flexed into the bot side. Very rarely see her in a bot lane matchup. And Darius into Udyr. Now, this is something Keen has done in LCK, and it has been very effective. But again, late game damage output may be a bit of a problem. Like, you're relying on a lot of early game snowballing in jungle and top lane, and then a Tristana to carry late. So if Tristana's shut down early, I'd be very concerned about late game damage. A lot of great engage from Lee, Nico, and Alistair over on BLG, or on JDG rather. I gotta switch. I gotta switch my VPN, and guys, I forgot to do that. So give me just a moment. I have to reboot the stream. On YouTube, I don't have to reboot the stream. It just keeps on going. You're welcome, GB Fencing. Thank you for watching. All right. Let's get into it. What a fucking infuriating way to start my stream, guys. Travis literally is just like, well, let's keep doing all the same things we used to do, because that's really done well for LCS viewership. Change nothing. Watch it slowly die so I don't have to find a real job sooner. Get me out, man.
We're getting the extra gyos much, which feels right.
Dude, it's packed to the rafters in there. It is full stadium affair today for this matchup. JDG versus BLG. JDG over to the blue side now, and we have dramatically different drafts. This is a totally different game to what we've been seeing so far, with a Darius locked in top for bin.
Yeah, right. Bringing out the Darius, doing incredibly well in those like extended trades with that bleed passive, and trying to bring down the Udyr. We've seen teams even kind of give resources to that.
I hope Travis has decent investments. His Magic the Gathering investments. His Magic the Gathering portfolio through the roof, dude.
Narratives in this game 3. We got the Pink Shang Derby. We got Yagao versus Knight. JDG BLG, the rivalry that JDG just kept stomping last year. Elk versus Missing. We got it all, and we got 3 games of it.
We certainly do. And we get a different mid lane matchup as well. Knight winning both sides of the Pink Shang Derby today. As Bin on to Flandre. He wants to get himself first blood. The bleed, is it enough? I don't think it's enough.
Oh! Looks like one tick.
Control of this lane now.
Yeah, flashing in.
Dude, I love watching Keen play this matchup. It's so fun. Obviously, watching Bin play it is pretty sick, too.
Most teams usually kind of temper down in the game 3, you know, get a bit more reserved because the whole series is on the line. But both these teams, especially being so high up in the standings, clearly showing that they are not going to fear anything.
Darius is a counterpick into Udyr. Yes, we've seen Keen run it a couple times now and just completely go bananas on people. It's really fun to watch. Because, like, you know, the Udyr can put out the AoE magic damage, but Darius just has a chance to, like, heal tank and deal more damage through it. So, like, I mean, look at this. Got bone plating down now. Here we go. It's actually just so annoying. You can't actually get the push off necessarily either.
Chance this time.
Ooh, does connect in the end. He's gonna follow up a little bit, especially with the amount of pressure that's gonna be put on Bin with this wave coming into his turret. I don't think JDG should be able to do much off of this.
He's gonna get knocked up. What? A little bit weird. A little bit weird. Q hits that. This is a different story. He flashes a little bit late there. Doesn't flash the stun. Why did Lee go in? I don't know. It's not a good play.
At first it looked bad for JDG. It's like Kanavi. I can see why you're wrapping around with the way the health is. With wait, what's going on? The right-hand corner of our screens. Actually forcing Missing to flash. And I like that we get this replay now because it lets us.
Nice job on the recall interrupt.
This game especially looks like we gotta be on our toes.
I like the 3 camp into both junglers top side. You love to see a good top lane battle going on.
For BLG and JDG. This isn't game 3. This is game 400 in the last 2.
No, top esports versus FPX is coming up. I'm finishing the BLG versus JDG series first. Are the Freaks frauds? No, they're just a young team. We'll see how they do this coming week.
Stun coming in from Flandre towards Bin. Dodges away from the Sonic Wave. On. Looks for a way to get into this lane. Bin needs to try and bait it, but I think they've called the fact that On is missing. Shun's moving over as well. Are they going to go for a dive here? Kanavi's got to be cautious, and there we go. On spotted at this point, but I don't think they care. 2v3.
Nice hook.
In fact, ignore the tower. They just go for the guy on the other side of the tower. Bin tanking steps away. The bleed is there.
Good juggle. Oh! Oh, he still gets it with the bleed. Very nicely done by BLG. I mean, look at this. So you have the Tristana on bot side, so you are going to be able to push the wave pretty freely with explosive charge, especially into a melee support. And so On actually just finds an excellent roam timing off of first recall, gets boots. And then On hits a fucking amazing hook right here. Look at that. Oh! He faked it. It looked like he was going to hook Flandre, and then he went after Kanavi instead. Kanavi could have flashed this, though. He thought he could sidestep it, but he ends up just getting hooked. He had flash up. He should have flashed that.
The tower, they just go for the guy on the other side of the tower. Bin tanking steps away. The bleed is there. It's going to be 2 kills as Sean takes the tower shot. Solo. Flandre dies to the bleed.
Huge. Look at my. He loses like 10 caster minions off of this wave, too. It's like 3 waves worth of caster minions. Does have the TP, so he's going to get a lot of it back. 32 to 19 CS plus a double kill. That's huge.
You love to see it if you're a BLG fan right now. Ruler put the pressure onto Elk. They know On's not here, so they're zoning as much as physically possible. In the
He gets Phage and Boots. Squeaks! Thank you for your tier 1 subscription. I appreciate you. Love the content here in LFN. Thank you very much, man. We're doing our best. Appreciate your support. Got my laundry sheets. The parents of 3 kids. It's a sponsor I greatly appreciate. Nick Vanny, you're welcome. I haven't been enjoying using it. I've been using the Earthbreeze stuff myself. It's convenient. Takes up less space. Thank you very much for supporting our sponsors. Appreciate that. Did my subscription box not work properly? I didn't hear it. Hold on, guys.
There is no enchanters. There's no double range bot lanes that you kind of have to take care of and enable to hit plates.
I feel like the longer this series has gone on, the more classic LPL it's become. With this absolute carnage at the top side.
I'll test it. Hold on. I wonder why it didn't work for you. All right, it's working. So hopefully it'll work for future subs. Blade Tycon, thank you for a Twitch Prime sub. Not sure why that's not working.
You know, I'm also excited by the fact that, right, we're about to hit our eighth hour of being on broadcast, which kind of brings in the loopiness a little bit, and only makes the game...
It's not actually showing up in... And maybe it'll come through in a minute, guys. It might just be a little bit delayed. Also, guys, I did open up YouTube memberships. So if you do want to subscribe on YouTube, then that is an option as well. No, it has nothing to do with the VPN. The Streamlabs is hooked up to my Twitch account. So it reads the information coming from Twitch.
Oh dear, I miss that guy. He's not dead or anything, he's just not on the LPL. Not that I actually ever got...
I'll try logging back out and logging in.
Actually, yes, you did. Actually, yes, you did, which is kind of funny. Oh, you go! Forced to flash Knight once again. Just able to come out ahead in the 1v1. Sure, on being there.
It might just be down on Streamlabs side at the moment.
Just decimating so far in the laning phase in this series.
Yeah, he's been absolutely phenomenal. On has been everywhere this game as well. Like, On is having a fantastic performance on the Nautilus. You can see why this was a priority for BLG. I just want to mention in the draft as well.
All right, so I do have YouTube memberships open. So if you would like to support me on YouTube, you guys were asking for that. So that is currently an option for you. And I will try and release some of the power rankings and other edited videos to members only early. Oh my God. He literally is trying to fight over this brush when he's incredibly far behind. Phage and Boots make this Darius super sticky, especially when he has the fucking... Okay, all right. Oh, God. Okay, all right. Oh, Lord.
5-0-0 on the Darius. 8 minutes into the game. This is an absolute massacre. JDG fans are in tatters to start this one off. Hell, Ruler and Missing are looking to the right or left and being like, guys, what is going on? We want to be able to play this game.
And Elk, Knight, and On, they are laughing all the way to the bank with this one. I guess On's been a part of it, but...
I mean, the bot took a little bit of a hit because of the roams. All right, there we go. Monty's long-lost son. Subscribe with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much. As opposed to my other 2 sons.
I mean, he's just so big at this point.
Thank you very much. Welcome back, son. Other son. Don't tell Susie about you.
I love the laugh. I love the laughter on being such a stoic person. and even the
Thank
happiest
you,
moments for
Smith PW, for your YouTube membership. I appreciate it. I will get a sound effect in there for you guys. I set it up to work, but I don't. I'll get a custom sound effect for YouTube members to differentiate it.
And Bin is 5-0. Every single kill in the game has gone into his pocket, and he's got a kill for every.
Congrats on being the first YouTube member, Smith PW.
I mean, he's so close to his Triforce. He could be the first person with this completed item, having one of the more expensive items in the game, just with this lead. Now having the red buff there too. There's just really nothing JDG can.
Do I think Nico might be better as a support than a mid right now? No, still a really strong mid. It doesn't matter because she's disabled for most of the regions currently.
3v3 breaks out topside. I mean, BLG will just win by the
2 more kids, then you got a team. That doesn't matter because my kids will play 1v1 RTS as God intended.
Before you try to just invest more in bot side,
Not some team-based trash where you have to be worried about how garbage your teammates are. They'll play RTS where their fate is in their own hands.
It's going to feel like an incredibly difficult game to play out. And not to mention the fact that, like, Rule is an incredibly short-range AD carry. Late game, when Bin hits Ghost and just runs at Ruler, it's going to be difficult for Ruler to survive. He's going to need all of the help he can get from his team to survive the onslaught. And if everyone's focused on Bin, it means Elk and Knight have freedom to take over.
you know the worst part? It's not only the Ghost, like just the speed.
Play a real sport like tennis? Nah.
Like
Yeah,
all,
true.
just different
We don't like non-contact sports.
Ruler now. Anytime BLG are going to be grouped up as 5, even if he finds an opportunity where like maybe him or Kanavi, whoever, can jump onto Elk, what does that even matter? You're going to be jumping into the waiting hands of a Darius. It feels kind of bad that we're only 11 minutes into this game, and honestly,
They can be Muay Thai fighters like their dad.
Hey, BLG now should not be able to lose this game, right? Like that just is the way it is. League of Legends, no matter if the game is less snowbally than it was, let's say like 10 years ago, is still incredibly snowbally. So JDG a little bit going to be relying on some creativity, and a lot going to be relying on some actual mistakes to come out from BLG as well.
Well, if there's a team that you want creativity from, JDG certainly up there. TP from Knight, he's just finished Malignant. Big item, spike and a hook from On is beautiful to see. Missing.
Nice force out of Alistar. That's actually huge for this fight, especially because Bin is now coming down. He's got Ghost up. Should be free Drake.
Moves down the river, and JDG quivering in their boots, both butt cheeks clenched at this point. As they know
Their cheeks are clenched. Yagao gets hooked. Pulled. Nice dodge on the ult.
and now BLG can run rampant in this fight.
Elk?
Goes over.
It's kind of scary.
As well, and Bin can't actually close the gap onto anyone.
No, still though.
He did get Nico ult out. I think they can fight this again.
His presence there. I think they're still even able to just posture and contend.
Oh, the kick is still up? Huge.
Oh, what a shutdown in his way to Ruler's pocket. That is insane. One kill goes over.
Huge play by Kanavi.
Kind of answer.
Oh, he got baited. He got baited. Ruler healed.
But the heal comes in, and Elk's jumped in as well. Gets the reset, bounces back over the wall. Knight getting damage down as well. And it's absolute chaos. What a play from Kanavi. His Lee Sin is insane.
Much that play happened so fast. Even seeing it in real time, my mind couldn't even keep up with what was going on. Kanavi, my God, what an angle. Neither team gonna be able to take Drake off that, but we're gonna see here, right? BLG feeling confidence because their raid boss Bill is in the area. Getting a little space with the Pop Blossom. But it's actually On who ends up going down from the
It's actually crazy Kanavi saved kick for this long in this fight.
And then it was this, I gotta see. He just lands a Q, gets the hop in there.
R flash. Beautifully done.
Having enough damage, right? No one able to follow up. He might be a fed Darius, but it still doesn't mean that 4 people aren't going to be able to absolutely annihilate him.
Yeah, his Q on cooldown as well, so couldn't get the sustain on. I think if a Q goes off, it suddenly starts to get really scary for JDG. But it didn't, and that means, like, total gold still pretty heavily in favor of BLG.
Send your kid to Chronicler's board game boarding school. I love board games too, guys. I've got a fucking ton of them at my house. I imagine when they get older, I will be doing a lot of that with them, hopefully.
He gets all of that gold straight into his pocket. He's a Kraken Slayer and a BF sword.
They played very well around the Darius. I mean, the Darius did bait out the Nico ult and used Ghost to dodge it after pulling the Nico in, so it was a nice move, but they managed to kite it out, and then the re-engage wasn't there, and the Q onto that Kanavi hit was very critical on the Lee Sin. Nice vision to see that play, though. I miss this whole series worth watching game 1 and 2. Yeah, I mean, you can see them on my Bangers Only channel if you use the VODs command on Twitch. So if you want to watch my version of them, they're there.
The OG Nico mind games player. Like, he is the one that has all the funny clips of him being a minion or him being a Krug or whatever else. Like, waiting and fighting those engages.
Engage from JDG. They found Shun here. Will be able to protect himself a little bit as Elk jumps into the play as well. Ruler needs to be careful. He's going for these kills, but he's low on HP himself. Is it going to be a trade? No, they get out on the blast cone.
Oh my god, Ruler. He's too good, man. He gets all the shutdowns too. That's so huge.
This is going disastrously for BLG.
And at the same time, we have been trying to run all the way down to make something happen. He might be able to, but Flandre's being left alone, being given free time with the turret top, being given free time to try to catch back up. And
Yeah, Flandre's getting back in this game now. Pretty scary.
Finn can't get there in time to punish anybody. He's got these 5 kills, but he's not been able to do anything in these last couple of fights. JDG finding ways to fight with.
Did I do the FPX games? No, they'll be coming next. Thank you, Oful, for your YouTube membership. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys supporting on YouTube as well. That option is now available for you.
I mean, not having the flash to be able to get away has the pop blossom, but it just doesn't mean anything in the end. Remember, Knight already having Malignance here, so able to dish out a fair amount of damage, but doesn't stop from the rest of the squad returning to finish him off, and now we're at an incredibly close game out of nowhere.
And I'm glad, honestly. I was a little bit worried there that we turned this into a bit of a stomp, that we were going to see just Bin take over the game. Feels like JDG having their head screwed on today, knowing how to deal with the Darius, knowing how to stop that snowball. Well, maybe not stop the snowball, but just sort of avoid the snowball and hope it isn't a problem later. It's not quite as comprehensive as what I was suggesting before, but still.
Love the Heat review by the time I get to Phoenix. Good. I mean, we had a lot of fun with the Heat video, guys. Doa and I actually just recorded our Nerd Legion episode of the new Avatar live action series this morning. And we're going to do Constellation next week. And I think we're going to do Ninja Kamui soon, too, because I've been hearing good things about that. So lots of exciting content coming out on the Culture Channel.
A lot still up in the air for now. And I'm just
Which, if you don't know, you can find here.
Both these teams have shown that they're just willing to fight out of
Or at Last Free Nation Culture. Thanks to the entertainment throughout the years, Monty. I do my best, sir. Thank you for your support.
Just like this.
Kanavi is fucking popping off, dude. Holy shit. Nico on 2. Ruler's huge. Wow. This is such a fun game to watch, guys. This is actually such a good game.
Here comes Bill.
Finally arrives. Bill on the scene. He wants some kills, but he's just being kited. He just
I mean, you did have to use both sums to get that, though. Ruler absolutely popping off. This is crazy to watch.
Just showing off pretty much your mechanical decision-making prowess in these moments. BLG still slightly.
Constellation, curious about that one? Yeah, I've heard good things. What a fun game. This game living up to bangers only, guys. I look like a young Ralph Fiennes. Yes, I know. I get that comment a lot. Parseval has subscribed to me on YouTube. Holy moly, Parseval is I wrote my undergraduate thesis on Parseval by Wolfram von Eschenbach. Huge fan. Huge fan of Parseval.
After having kind of a here. His spring right now is so incredibly good. JDG hard forcing, but so much CC to keep him there. And Munch, it looks like we won't even get to be in this replay for too long because we are fighting over.
We got to fight again, guys. Fight for every Drake. Let's go.
He's tanked so many tower shots in the last one. There's like half of his health. Here we go. BLG looking for the fight. On has Hex Splash, and he's going to look.
Kanavi just fishing for the Q angle.
It's going to be a 50-50 here.
Oh, heck yeah. Look at that.
For the engage, gets over the wall. It's going to be a 50-50.
Let's talk about this. There's two Alistairs, right? There's two Alistairs. And so one of them WQs in. Or tries to WQ in. Doesn't quite WQ in. Second one comes in. Nico ult. Huge play. They do lose the Drake, though. Huge heal, but it doesn't matter. Can't get off the ult. Holy shit.
How did this game flip on its head out of nowhere? Great job from Yagao to set that up. Ruler
Have you heard of the new show coming out called Shogun? I mean, technically it's a there was a like it's a James Clavell novel, right? And they did a series in the 80s also. But the new Shogun, the new iteration of Shogun, the new TV series is supposed to be very good. It comes out today, actually. I will definitely be watching that, but not for Nerd Legion because it doesn't fall into like the sci-fi fantasy that we do on that show. Such a huge ult.
What a beautiful top blossom from Yagao to block things down. And look at Finn. He still can't get up to deal damage. Ruler just
I mean, it's so hard for Bin to actually do anything at this point that Ruler's so fed because the peel for Ruler against this Darius is just huge. And especially, like, he doesn't have any sums. He didn't have any sums in that fight.
I just can't believe how this game is going. I genuinely can't believe my eyes.
a 5-0 Darius in 8 minutes.
I'd basically just called it.
Yeah, all of the reviews I've been seeing for the new Shogun are gushing. I think it's going to be really good. Add one more thing. Thank you for your Twitch Prime sub.
Swing in percentage. Like a 20% swing for the game over the last few minutes. On just gets absolutely chunked for even looking at Ruler.
Oh, thank you, Sinosis Kensei, for subbing. YouTube Premium apparently gives first month free. I've been using Premium for 3+ months. Oh, apparently no announcement. That's weird, but it's okay. I will notice and I will say. I will do it. Shout out to you. Thank you. Let's take a look at the start of this fight again. So, I mean, getting the Baron off this fight, too, is huge, right?
I just can't believe how this game is going.
20-minute Baron, especially because you have a Kaisa who's with Kraken Slayer. You can actually do that Baron super quickly.
He's had no impact on this
What a
game.
crazy turnaround.
Swing in percentage. Like a 20% swing for the game over the last few minutes. On just gets absolutely chunked for even looking at Ruler.
I know, I mean, Turvinus and Navori, he is dealing so
Yeah, the problem is they don't have any damage anymore because Bin is rarely going to get in range to deal damage. Now they're just reliant on Tristana, so...
Every single time we see each other missing, goes for the play. Blasco back out, and he brings Bin with him. Bin on the back line, but he just doesn't have the sustain to survive it. He can't get onto Ruler, and shows ultimate times out. Another double kill. That's 11 in the bank.
Holy shit.
He's on a mission, and Kanavi's Lee Sin has been insane today as well.
Yeah, again, I feel like Kanavi's really...
Can I have my first kid in this April and planning on naming him Perseus Parseval? Well, I wanted to name my kid Parseval or Percival technically. And I tried to name this one Perseus, but I got denied. So I definitely approve considering that's what I wanted to name my kids.
Stuck underneath the tower, another shot. Not quite enough to finish the job. On goes for a hook. I'm not sure this is a fight that they can win. The kickback is huge, and Knight gets
My wife didn't like the shorter version Percy. And I couldn't name him Percival because in Korean it would be basically Percival would be pronounced Shipal, and Shipal means fuck in Korean, so I couldn't name him Percival because he is half Korean.
LPL, we have all been waiting for. And again, one of the just best playoff advertisements there could be. These top
So I tried.
playing against each other, BLG now.
But with Perseus, my wife also just didn't like the shorter version Percy, which I didn't have an issue with, but it's okay. Orion's a good name too. Jack just found from Fukensei that I can give you a free sub here too. Thank you very much, guys.
Fearless was following in these sonic waves like Kanavi setting it up. But great job by Shun there to deny the full impact from the Pop Blossom. That could have been where they really exploded. Sure, Ruler starts to find some kills for himself, but the craziest part to me, Munch, is the fact that the team fight devolves between two turrets. Like JDG just really don't care. Nice lockdown coming in from Knight there to make sure to get the full brunt of this damage. And then On is just so fearless to keep.
Thank you very much, Chris Seifert.
And guarantees another going over to BLG and making sure that they can keep this game close.
Thank you, Chris Seifert. And thank you, Mr. Something. All the subs. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Jeffrey Bezos, the first for your Bezos bucks. Indeed. I do appreciate your support, guys. Makes it possible to keep doing this.
Don't get to see his Lee Sin often, but I genuinely think he's one of the best Lee Sins in the world. And he's looking on form today. Some of these kicks have been magnificent. I mean, the kick on Bin in that first river fight that shut down Bin in the first place.
So Bin does get some split pushing done. I mean, obviously he's still fed, but I mean, Ruler is approaching a 4th item now. Just absolutely terrifying. You know, they stopped the Drake stacking at this point in time.
Just ignoring JDG for now.
I don't know how you win this as BLG now, and it's so devastating. They have not beaten JDG all of last year. They played, what, 7 times? And never beat JDG, and now they get Knight. Now 369 subbed out, he swaps. Flandre joins the roster. It felt like this was the time for BLG, and then they lose to IG the other day. Suddenly there's rumblings, like we're wondering what's going on.
4 Chemtech Drakes with Udyr shield sounds so annoying, guys. Udyr gonna have Udyr Turtle Stance gonna have a fucking giant ass shield, whatever they call it. Now I don't know what it's called now. The Turtle Stance equivalent.
We're literally the exact opposite. Where all 10 of these players again are such like high caliber players who've seen like the highest highs you could see in League of Legends. They're just like, yo, we know this is a regular season series. We go all out for the massacre in this game 3, and right, they all know playoffs in LPL is a different monster. Like. You cannot take any series from the regular season and kind of use it as a philosophy to follow, because at the end of the day, any players can just show up.
The funniest thing about this series to me is that we haven't once said that
Thank you, Icebergen, for resubscribing with your Twitch Prime. The best way to use your Twitch Prime is to become a member of the Erudite Elite. That's just factual.
Almost making it to World Finals, but T1 made short work of that dream.
And what's crazy is even with the roster changes, it doesn't affect the quality of match, because the mid laners swap teams and JDG brought in a top laner that's a world champion. Like, the quality is still there.
It's not like the caliber of player went down, you know? Maybe less of a carry in that top side for JDG, but still an exceptional player nonetheless.
And to be fair, right, JDG were not using 369 as a carry. Like,
no, they weren't.
Flandre could come in and fill that role perfectly.
I mean, when you think back to spring last year, the fact that 369 basically gave Bin a breakdown, so he had to learn to play tanks, says about the style of gameplay that 369 would bring to the table for JDG. Here we go, though. Baron started. JDG, the ones to start it. 4,000 gold lead for them as Missing just looks for the fight. Yagao alongside him here. Knight moving forwards, but the rest of the team are just continuing to do the objective. Missing might be sacrificed for the players. Shun's kicked out of the pit. It's 1 kill for a Baron, and Bin goes down as well.
Ruler's still huge. All right, they're on top of him. Flashes out.
Flash
He's not autoing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's still so huge, though. Oh, can he clean this up? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. He almost did it, guys. So trying to go for Baron number 2 here. Trying to keep Jun out of pit. Okay, Alistair will use. Just buying time. They do actually kick him out of the pit, which is great because it allows them to secure the Baron. But the problem is Missing used his entire ult in order to get that. And Bin actually does quite a bit of damage to Kanavi. Yagao's trying to zone out here with ult and then Zhonya's. Ruler comes in, but he actually can't assassinate Elk. I think it's actually a mistake Ruler makes here. He wants to use Killer Instinct, but I think he goes in too early and he doesn't play with his front line. You know what I mean? So he gets turned on immediately. The Nautilus starts walking up, which means he actually has to just flash away, and there's no more damage here anymore because Yagao is dead. They used all their CC for zoning, and so Ruler just didn't actually capitalize on that CC being used because they were taking Baron. And then I think he ults too early. Also, Yagao's play is a bit interesting here. So he gets hit by not ult, and he does have flash, guys, so he actually has a chance, I think, to get better value out of Pop Blossom. But he opts instead to Zhonya's during the animation. So it creates a zone outside of the pit, but it doesn't actually provide damage or CC. So as soon as he pops out, he's just killed by the explosive blast. Explosive charge, rather. It's crazy that he almost wins this, though.
Elk finding the fight that he needed. JDG, I mean, they get the Baron, but in the end, the Baron doesn't equate to anything.
I think if Ruler holds ult there, that he might actually just win that fight. Because his ult ended up with him having to flash and getting zoned out. Which, if he was playing more to the back line here, I think there's a lot more success. But at the end of the day, guys, when Alistair is dead, and when you use everything on Nico to zone this out, you just have to leave, right? You can kill Bin, and you can actually just get out. But they opt into the engagement. You know, they had also used Lee Sin Kick to get Jin Zhao out of pit. It was crazy. He almost won this, though.
For a second, but Shun finds his way in and takes him down. And the fact that he just died still has 300 gold bounty is absolutely mental. And you know, I have to wonder what my neighbors are thinking at this point as I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. But there's just no other way to commentate this kind of game. Flandre, CC immunity keeps him safe. Bit of a weird ult from off, not gonna lie.
You know what? He'll get another one of those soon. He's feeling fine. If there's a chance for an engage, you don't give up a chance for an engage in this game. On shown that sincerely levels, right? He was the first one to make that roam up towards topside. Is that damage? Not surprising.
10,000 damage in a single team fight. We're looking for Flandre. Elk gets some damage down, chases after him as well. Flandre cannot withstand this. And the rest of the gang is here to meet him. A great pick for BLG. They've got to reset to stop the answer from JDG on the opposite side of the map. Knight's got to be careful. Missing would love to make a flash play here. Has Hex Flash available to him. Drake spawning as well. Neither team on soul point, so not going to be the focal point for now.
Yeah, so right now, going to be able to push this turret, but we can see, yep, there it is, Elk answering on the opposite side, and someone needs to recall. This is a Tristana. He's going to be able to do so much damage to this base. Right now, only sending Missing back.
The TP actually comes out, forces a TP from JDG.
Oh, you're not worried about Yagao being back. All right, nice. All right, they have Alistair there too.
That was so disrespectful.
Yeah, ends up going.
A TP from JDG. Dodges
He literally just gets caught.
and stays way too long.
That's actually terrible by Elk.
Yeah, ends up going down.
3 Chemtechs for JDG now.
Able to pick up the dragon in the meantime. So find a pick, find themselves on soul point. There isn't an inhibitor exposed now. So will be some things you have to worry about. And I mean, right, there have just been so many shenanigans, so many more fights than what we would typically see. Like no objective up, just looking for these picks. It feels so hard to predict which way this game will go. I guess for us and then, you know, anyone else who's following here with the kind of live, semi not live English broadcast, the fun that we're here for, Munch.
TP into the mid lane. Mid inhib tower is going to go down. Probably the inhib with it as well. Ruler needs to hit the tower instead of the minions here. This will be an inhib. Bin still just trading on the opposite side of the map. Looking for a tier 2. I don't know if this is an even trade really for them. He does not have TP, so he needs to get this tower and potentially get out of dodge. He's going to get killed.
Kind of live, just looking for these picks. English broadcast. The fun to predict which way this game will go.
So Xin Zhao is in river. Darius is in bot, split pushing a tier 1. And then the call comes in. Flandre's TPing here to provide a body at the front. And then he doesn't recall, he pushes, and they just lose an inhibitor? Very strange trade from BLG. But the problem is that, by the way, guys, because Elk died, remember what I said about this composition? Elk is their only form of damage outside of Darius. And so they may have decided that they just can't walk up to stop this wave with Darius, which is reasonable. Like, how do you threaten the front line? Like, the front line just CCs you if you're Darius, and you can't kill them. So you actually can't stop this pressure, so you might as well take it tier 2. I kind of agree with this, actually. Now that I'm looking at it, Trist dying is absolutely unacceptable for BLG. Trist must be alive at all times, because otherwise you have like a karma and 3 melees, and you cannot stop siege, and you cannot actually kill ruler or the front line. You can't do anything.
Okay, not gonna expect him to still be back in that brush, it seems like.
Trying to predict that he would run away. He's gonna get it.
If you get okay, not gonna expect him to still be
got something. Back on the map in just over a minute's time. And honestly, at this point, it's anyone's game. Yes, Ruler is full build, but Elk's only half an item away as well, and that Tristana certainly has hit the late game spike. This Karma as well is going to do massive damage in an extended fight.
Yeah, and for JDG side, we can think back earlier to the fight JDG won most dominantly. It's on what Yagao can find especially. You're looking at Yagao, you're looking at Kanavi to be the big playmakers. A big pop blossom 1 to 5 people like earlier is going to win the game. If Kanavi can step someone just walking a bit too far forward and finds that insect, it will be a similar thing.
I feel so tense. I'm so excited to see how this one ends. Another chapter in the BLG versus JDG story. And yet again, it's an absolute bagger. I feel like towards the end of last year, it started to get more and more one-sided. It started to become a bit of a JDG fest. And I feel like now, the swap of the mid laners, the roster changes, have changed it up again.
Nice killer instinct.
By literally everyone on JDG, and it's enough to finish the job. He's taken out of the picture, and suddenly Baron is wide open.
And for JDG, it's very easy for them to even just try to like go for the smite itself. You have the Alistar to be able to knock the Zinzao away. Looks like they're looking for the turn though. Yagao doesn't have Pop Blossom.
4v5 is the only answer for BLG, but they're just going to get engaged on after the Baron is taken. Trying to get away with his life. Elk hops over towards the rest of his team. Ultimate's not there for the side of JDG, so they don't hard force too much, but enough to show their strength.
Considering that Bin has a 5-0 start, doesn't feel like it all. Well, that's the Darius condition. You know, you can't convert that lead if you're not providing side lane pressure. If the enemy has a team composition that can effectively kite you. You're very summoner spell dependent. You're very positional mistake dependent. You're compositionally dependent. Like, how do you get in? There's an Alistair and a Nico. I mean, look at this. You can get kicked out. You can get headbutted out. Like, how does Darius ever do damage in these team fights? He can't.
Scans in the brush, there's one person, then suddenly the entire goon squad appears. Jumps on top of him. Not a lot he could do about that one. That's going to be his flash and his ghost on cooldown off the back of that player.
Yeah, and they have a super fed ADC, so he just gets booty blasted by Kaisa. Kaisa can just delete him. I mean, really the answer, guys, is that they shouldn't have given, like, several shutdowns to fucking Ruler's Kaisa.
Yeah.
Right?
Point out, this actually happened a few minutes ago, but Ruler changing out the terminus for the LDR definitely going to help as the game progresses later.
You recommend going through the novel first or jump straight into the TV series? I haven't read the novel of Shogun. I assume that's what you're talking about. I've heard it's very good, though.
She's not really been meta. I know Kaisa, one of those champions that always gets a bit weird when it comes to the builds. But like you're saying, swapping out the fact that he's at the position where
Don't pick Darius. I mean, it can work in certain games, right? Like, you can absolutely snowball with it, turn yourself into an unstoppable split-pushing juggernaut, control objectives. If they have to play into you, it can be very good. But it is kind of, you know, we didn't get to see the order of the draft here. So it's possible that there, you know, some of these picks that are very effective into Darius, like, you know, Alistair or Nico, came in later. I mean, even the Udyr could just stun him in the front line. Fed, yeah, 4 Chemtech Drake Udyr shields and Lee Sin shields, honestly, off of his E. Very helpful for keeping, like, Ruler alive, potentially. What is that? I think, guys, it's 44% increased shields. So much extra shielding. I think it's 11% per Chemtech. Is it 11%? Somebody look it up. I forgot. Locket, too. Oh, yeah, Locket's a good point. Locket on Alistair.
Yeah, and JDG kind of need to look for aggressive action, right? They're playing Kaisa Nico up against Tristana Karma. The wave clear is there.
Missing takes a big chunk. Ruler knocked up.
Yeah, and JDG kind of need to look for aggressive action, right? They're playing Kaisa Nico up against
Huge shields from Lee Sin. It's like 300 shield from a basic ability onto 2 people. Alright, he just gets stun locked and killed by Tristana. And then they dive a turret. Is this how they throw the game? Oh, Shun's ult prevents Ruler from doing anything.
Takes a big chunk. Ruler. JDG.
Yeah, and JDG kind of need to look for.
To be fair, their team composition is very bad at sieging, guys. Very bad at sieging, especially without Baron. Because they have a bunch of low-range characters, and so there's an opportunity here that they see. I mean, On just chain locks Kanavi. He chain CCs Kanavi, so Kanavi can't do anything. And it's such a huge Jinzhao ult by Jun. He gets Ruler he eliminates Ruler from that fight completely. 6% shield buff for Dragon. Thank you. That was 24%. 11% would be a lot. So that makes more sense. It's still 24% more shielding, which is quite a bit. Especially when you have like a Locket.
Can they actually end the game? This is a heartbreak for JDG if they actually lose.
Jun's ult had crazy value, but you do have to be careful when sieging with a composition like that for this reason. Do they just win the game here? That's so crazy. What a crazy game. This one was really fun. I don't know about that, Ruler. It's crazy they won that.
Performance, honestly, from both teams. It just makes
That was a really fun third game, though.
see this matchup again potentially in the future. We've seen it so many times over the past year.
Definitely a certified banger, guys.
Absolutely delivering. BLG, I mean, they
And thank you, Ocean Legacy, for looking up the exact number on that. They could have just waited it out for the next Baron, guys. They could have just waited 3 minutes for the next Baron. Could have waited for Elder, but instead they decided to try for a siege with a comp that was super bad at sieging and got picked off on the front line.
Knight is just too insane, isn't he? But I feel like that was Elk winning that final fight. You said the scale
What's up,
of
C-Train
that
46?
working out the range advantage that they
I guess we don't have... Hold on. Usually there are some VODs on this channel.
To the picks and bans of this one, Nightmare. No.
No, hold up. We did get... There was like a Chinese channel that was doing the VODs. This one. See if they've got it on here. TES versus FPX. Yeah, that's what we want. So the reason why we're doing this is sometimes the Chinese sites, the Chinese sites lag a little bit. All right, here we go. Do you have a preferred type of team comp to watch? Pick comp, front to back team fight, early game. I don't really have a preferred type. I just like watching them executed well. You know what I mean? Do you think you'll review the miniseries Shogun? Probably not, because it doesn't fall into the Nerd Legion sci-fi or fantasy. But I will be watching it, so we can talk about it here. I'm going to be back in just a minute, guys. And we'll start the next series. No, YouTube is not paused. Just taking a little bit of a break. I gotta finish my tuna salad sandwich. So the saturation in these games is the color is just completely wacky. So it's not my stream, guys. It's just the color of these streams is super crazy. Does Doinby still play? No, not really. Okay, Kindred. So Milky Way has been having a lot of Kindred carry games recently. So that's why you're seeing that, particularly on blue side, where you might have a free ban. And Mako is just banning out Mako supports. That's pretty funny. So it'll be Senna first. Can't pair it with the Nautilus this time, though. Maokai and Karma get through. Tom Kench, okay. We're going to have to ban Vi here, potentially. Okay, so Twisted Fate taken. This is a pretty interesting draft from FPX because you don't know where anything is going right now. Right? These are all flex picks. This could be support, could be jungle, could be support top mid. This could be any of 3 lanes, although it's probably top, right? Probably mid, probably top, probably jungle, but we'll wait and see. Not going to ban Vi, instead going to ban Lee Sin, okay. Gary Jungler's being banned. We are going to... Okay. So lots of setup here to get basically quick resets for Viego. Single target CC to set up Viego, get a kill, get a reset, and use Karma to have him clean up a fight. And there's the Vi pick that we thought might... Oh, just kidding. It's real. This would be quite the pivot, guys. Wow. All right, so we're actually taking the Cassante last, which means Viego's in the jungle. We have a mid Karma and a support Maokai. So this is pretty good single target lockdown and kill. Like Viego, I mean, the ganks that can be happening in this bot lane are pretty crazy, right? They're 3v3 lockdown, tons of single target CC. Very strong pick composition, guys. This is a pick comp. Really just wanting to use Twisted Fate Ultimate in order to find targets and then run at them quickly, pick somebody off, start getting Viego resets before a fight starts. Pretty good protection, though, against single target, but you have to hit 6 on Tom Kench, so he has Devour. And low range. Gotta say, low range TF is not a long range champion. So top esports, if they're actually fighting front to back in the late game, they're probably gonna have a lot of trouble killing Senna. So they have to get vision control. They have to intercept them en route to objectives because playing a standard front to back might be quite tricky for FPX. Should be a fun game though. I like the comps. Milky Way, like being the focus of this team, is really fun too. To watch with all his farming or like carry junglers.
尤其是下路的对线，虽然右边这个对线我觉得2打2没那么好打，但他们配合打野的能力是1等1的。
没错，而且GB卡牌，我觉得至少在发育上面是能保障的。
对，
发育到中期，可能能通过卡牌的抓边能力，制造一些威胁啊。
左边这个塞纳塔姆也是一个双多蓝系列，直接上线。小奶油这个对线，我只能说究极自信。他打卡尔玛的话，也是一个征服者，那就意味着他对线是非常有信心，不被换到太多没意义的血的。下路上来，直接2个 Q 全中。哎呀，一级这换血卡牌已经有点晕了。杰克和 Mako 的这个塞纳塔姆组合，主要2个人的熟练度都太高了，一级直接完成了一个推线。
No, I haven't seen how the series ends.
只能学一个选牌了，因为正常的 AD 卡牌有的时候可以学 E。
对，
他是压力太大了。
他这把是为了1级换血，学了第1波的黄牌去定了一下 Mako， 但 Mako 进草了，当时。
坏了，进入到别吃环节了。这样瑞尔会不会直接来呀？我们看一下。
Other than RTS, what game would you consider being an analyst on, or what would it need? Did you ever consider switching to CS in an analyst role? I think the issue with me switching to CS is that the burden of knowledge for CS analysis with the history of that game is so daunting. You know, I'm confident I could do it, but it would be very hard to get there. They've got a lot of really good established analysts already too. So it just doesn't seem like it'd be worth it for me.
上路，这也是一个滔博舒服的线。对于奎桑迪来讲，后手选看到一个剑魔很难受 ，W 顶空了，有刺死剑气，上去扎一刀，回身，征服者叠满，不敢换血了。
这把对线感觉前期更多还是两边打野会围绕下路来打，上路的话更多以发育为主，看打团。
但这波对滔博来讲，推了可以退了，他们也明白破败王是从上面刷下来快到了，只要退掉这一波，那前期3分钟的对线不出事就很舒服。塞纳先退，回家补上自己的云游图鉴。
It's weird to see Dokdom and Life on FPX. I'm still not used to that yet.
对，这版本经常能看到3级、4级的塞纳游走的。 不过这把在线上感觉也不会很难受，因为对面也不。
So we'll be fasting Senna farming Tom Kench. You know, this does present some pretty big potential late game damage issues from FPX due to the shorter range nature of their composition. Like killing the Rel and the farming Tom Kench late game is probably going to be pretty tricky for FPX.
小天会不会再取消回城？下半区切过来就是长这样哦。你把你 TP 交了吧。而且这个线怎么直接囤了一波往前推了，难受坏了。
就是刚刚塞纳回去这。
漏个刀，问题不大。这个对线对于阿卡丽来说，只要能正常吃刀，不被压20个以上，我觉得都是很厉害的对线了，都是很成功了。 无尽死守中了，塔姆这边没有交顶。哦，感觉塔姆也是。
Have you seen a Rel Penta in pro play? No.
这下要是顶上帝视角看，可能要顶闪了。
Are you happy Cassante Prile will probably decrease post nerfs? Yes, obviously. I think we're all happy about that. That's what we want. I don't mind Cassante as a champion. Like, I think he's conceptually interesting, but he's obviously much too powerful right now. Oh! Oh, you hate to see it. The 1 HP smite, guys, and then he walks back, but he gets stunned, and then the auto comes through from Milky Way for the steal. Huge plays. Huge! That actually is a really big play, guys, because now Milky Way gets all 3 grubs here instead of just 2. Which he would have gotten if there was the call to go back, which means that, you know, he only needs 2 out of the next 3 as well to potentially get the important Void Grub bonus. Rel can take 3 at once, kind of deserve for not knowing how to do the camp. Yeah, that was sloppy by Tian for sure, because you can use the shield break to get all 3 at the same time. Rel is probably, you know, like Rel and Brand are probably the best junglers at taking Void Grubs in the game. Speaking of which, never do Void Grubs if you're playing jungle Taliyah, by the way. Holy shit, that sucks. Actually the worst. I'll tell you what, guys, when I do LPL matches, my stream viewership fucking sucks. He was going to kill 3 at once, but Viego came, so he just smited. I mean, okay, but he wanted... I know, he probably wanted to get the 1 and then walk away, and then it fucked up, but it's okay. Nobody likes watching LPL except us, guys. It's our little secret. We're the ones that love you for you, Monty. I mean, Milky Way's been a really fun player to watch so far this season. Do you know how much LPL's viewership in China has gone down this year? There's no way to know because all Chinese numbers are bullshit. So I don't think there is a way to know if it has gone down because they were all the viewership numbers were lies to begin with. They still went down a lot. I don't know, Yan Ya. Why do you think they went down? I have no insight into Chinese viewership. Two Worlds losses in a row maybe did it. Well, I mean, they should get used to maybe 3 or 4 losses in a row. That's what I think. Maybe they should get just catch a few more L's. Kind of new to LoL. Why are they fake? Because you cannot trust any number coming out of China in any capacity at any time in any context. There's no ability to like verify that what the streaming sites are saying is true. Pretty slow early game, honestly. Wow, he ults and then he flashes. It's a good pick, though. We talked about the necessity of getting these picks, right? Before you actually go in for objectives. Excellent setup, right? Look how well this is played, actually, by FPX. As soon as Maokai ults, that's the instant the TF ult goes down. You already have the stun coming in, so you force Jackie Love's cleanse. Still gets hit by all of the CC after that. Also, TF, a giga amazing pick into Akali. We didn't even mention that. You cannot hide in Shroud. Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. That's one of those synergies that I forget about sometimes because we just haven't seen TF versus Akali in a while. But now that TF is back in meta and so is Akali, that's actually very important. It's something that we saw KT Rolster running a lot last year when BDD was on his Twisted Fate kick, like over the last couple years. Am I in the Milkman hype train? Yeah, I think Milky Way is super legit. He looks great. Thank you, T.E. Lawrence. Big fan of your poetry, T.E. Lawrence. Thank you. It's an honor to have you resubscribe to me. Lots of pressure is expected with Karma in the mid lane. There is no TF ult this time. Why are we fighting in River? Why are we fighting in River? There's nothing in River to take. We're just fighting for funsies. We're fighting because it's LPL. We're fighting for Crab. I mean, he thinks he's safe, right? Because Karma's pushed up in this side and TF is going to be ulting in. But he actually, life does get siphoned off to the side here. And Tom Kench is very good in these skirmishes. And Dokdam isn't there. And Maokai ult at point blank range is useless, so life just dies. Watching a replay of, well, not a lot, I guess, in the mid lane. Cream trying to play into Karma. Seems very unfun. All right, no actual, like, we did split the Void Grub camps, so no actual advantage there over to FPX after taking the initial 3. Now we're going to see what happens with this Herald, especially now that TF ult is up again. But TF is very far away and only has level 1 ult, so he actually can't move that far. Face checking brushes. Wow, they just All right, going on the farmed Tom Kench is not providing a lot of value. Viego has to ult out. They don't have a TF. TF is now motioning up into the top side, but he's going to be late. Senna ult just incredibly strong right now. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, the problem with FPX is that without TF there, they don't actually have a lot of damage to trigger Viego passives, even though they have Malignance onto Karma right now. And the front line of top is just incredibly tanky. They don't have Maokai ult. This is dangerous from FPX. Wow, Tian gets it? That's classic, just Q smite from Rel. They're trying to get the eye, though. They're trying to muscle their way in. All right, they got it. He can just get over the wall, though. Or he can't? Oh, wow. Picking TF in the ADC/bot role, it just seems to lose every lane and then be useless. I'm kind of tempted to agree with you. It's an interesting flex pick. I think in this case, they were hoping that because it's a Senna Tom Kench lane, that it wouldn't really be punished, right? But having lower levels on TF is generally a problem because levels in your ult increase TF's usefulness pretty substantially because he can obviously ult from a further range, like from further away. I mean, there's no damage to actually, like, they can't be taking these front-to-back fights because there's no damage to actually create a pick to start a Viego snowball. And you have Tom Kench who's going to save whoever is low. All right, there we go. Finally got something done. Whew. That was close, though. I mean, why are we challenging this when Aatrox isn't even here? I mean, 369 doesn't have TP right now. So, I mean, a lot of this is because it's a 4 versus 5 that they're opting into. And Cream gets the kill, but he gets stunned in the middle of everybody. And there is no Aatrox. And there can't be an Aatrox until right now when his TP comes up, but it comes up too late. And he TP's in it. What the fuck happened to his health bar? He took turret shots, guys. He took turret shots before coming in. What the fuck? Look at this. I was just looking at him. I was like, oh, yeah, his TP's almost up, right? I'm looking at him. I was like, oh, he's 100% HP. He literally, like, watch this, guys. There's his minion wave. Okay, his minion wave is dead. He is literally taking turret shots. There's another one. He takes I think he takes 3 turret shots, and then he TPs in after the fight was lost. What a fucking troll play. Holy shit. Like, why even TP in? The fight is over. I mean, that was terribly played from Top Esports. Like, holy shit. He doesn't have TP right now, right? You are literally trying to stop this Drake. It's a second Drake. Why are we fighting this? Who cares? You literally throw the entire game here. He didn't have TP earlier. No. Top Esports was trying to contest that Drake. Well, 369's like, guys, I don't have TP. And then he just takes a bunch of tower shots and TPs anyway. Oh, it's so ugly. It's so ugly. Like, I don't think FPX should win that fight under normal circumstances. They shouldn't ever be able to get Viego resets, but because it was basically just a 3v or a 4v5, right? I mean, it starts as a 3v5. And Cream comes in and gets the Maokai kill, but it's a support Maokai and he already used ult, so it doesn't matter if he dies or not, really. Oh, it's miserable. I think TF is just too good in call. I mean, it is. It is very good. Because you see her and then you can instantly CC her, right? In this case, the ult wasn't up, so it doesn't matter. By the way, guys, do you know what TF's kit used to be when I first started playing League of Legends? You ready for a Boomer Twisted Fate story? So, in the original version of Twisted Fate, his teleport was his E. Okay? So his teleport was his E. And he could teleport anywhere on the map into Fog of War. Into Fog of War. So anywhere, even if you couldn't see it, he could teleport there. He could click anywhere on the map and TP there with his E. He had pick a card. His gold card was an AoE stun. And he had wild cards. So he threw out the 3 cards, right? And then his ult was reveal everyone on the map just like it is and slow them. So you could use his teleport without using his reveal. So, and it was a slow. It was the most broken shit in the game in history. His E did have a very long cooldown, so his teleport did have like a minute or 2 cooldown on it, but it was so broken. And still Reggie would lose with him. True. Still less broken than modern day Cassante. No, you do not understand. The TF would be in your lane, behind you, teleporting anywhere on the map like every minute and a half. It was ridiculously broken. I miss a Rek'Sai old ult, where she just ulted to a tunnel. That shit was super fun. I miss that.
还是要利用瑞尔的属性啊，就是打大团比较厉害。
然后中线得保持推线，不能让这个卡牌推得太舒服。
而且这把滔博，我觉得最关键是他们在正面不能少人，就几次都感觉。 总有兄弟不在
，4打5搞赢了一波呀！那个峡谷前锋搞赢了一波，后面那波还想4打5搞，开车，瑞尔这边直接过来，这个车好像有点凶险哦。这个车开完，塔姆在后面，还好是瑞尔，非常的肉，大家没有开他的欲望。塔姆也在边上做保护。
All right, FPX setting up nicely here for a possible soul points. They need to get rid of some of these wards, though, so they can actually use TF ult effectively to create the pick.
火炮已经有了，这位置口子只要站住，其实方 plus 可以等你谁进来就打你进来的那个人，然后给佛爷哥捡魂。经典的佛爷哥阵容，先秒一个，然后收割。卡牌大树、卡尔玛这种定点控制太恐怖了。
阿卡丽这波第2件也没做出来，现在就只有一个巫妖加上2个比较大的散件啊。 无尽厮守中了，尤其要看小天的位置。这一把对于方 plus，对于滔博来说，方 plus 也同样，他们得先找到这个瑞尔在的位置。剑魔选择回家补波装备，但龙已经刷了。剑魔回家买完装备直接踢过来，小老虎在草里插眼，看到了这个举动，剑魔落地，夜之锋刃直接被破掉。那谁能够打出先手？龙的耐心值被拉完了，滔博选择先推中线，但卡牌的一个消耗直接把小天给消耗掉了300-400血左右。
This is actually not great for FPX, I don't think. They're like opting into this front to back fight. Again, their composition really lacks damage and range. And Senna's just gonna get Tahm Kench ulted, then spit out, then Senna ult, they're dead. Oh, we got the reset! We got the reset! Oh, he's coming! They got him! Alright. Okay, they did it. I'm actually really surprised they win this fight. 369 not on a flank here at the start of this fight. Jackie Love also takes a lot of damage up front. He's like frontlining here. What does he tank here? Does he? Oh, he actually gets saplinged. That's a sapling explosion. And they have to use the Devour to save him from Maokai ult potentially. So he gets out and he gets this, but they get the double kill onto the TF basically immediately because there's no backline threat, and Jackie can't use his ult fast enough because he's inside Tahm Kench. Yeah, the Malignant's Karma, too, in the choke point. Doing a lot of work. Who are the strongest contenders for MSI? T1, JDG. T1's probably the best team right now. BLG, top, JDG. The oldest patch notes I could find, TF's teleport E gate was changed from 30 seconds at rank 5 to 60 seconds at rank 5. Yep. How do you think Faker this split is compared to Chovy and BDD? Yeah, he's been really strong. He's been very, very good. His Orianna is like so fucking good right now. His Orianna and Corki, top tier. It's way really good. He's just very strong on poke champions right now. It helps that he consistently has the same role to play in his team, right?
目的熟练度这一波。关键有个幽梦之灵，你减速我加速，
等于你定住，
等于你禁锢，是的，直接给对面禁锢了。但对方 Plus 来说还是不用急。
Faker also now has a champion pool. I mean, sort of. He can play Azir, Corki, Hui, Oriana, Nico, but Nico's banned on this patch. Can he play anything else? We don't know. He doesn't have to play anything else. Like, that's a perfectly acceptable champion pool for him to have on his team at this point in time, but... Yeah, his Hui and Karma... Yeah, that's true. His Hui was really good, by the way. I mean, they blew their load right here. FPX. You know, they try and create a pick again. They've been trying to use this trio to create picks all game, which is appropriate, right? However, this time they just overextend. Jackie Love actually doesn't get stunned here. So he uses that range to do immense damage. Life tries to engage, but there's a fucking Tom Kench right there. And this is the fight where they do not get the resets, and it's going to be a complete disaster because they used all of their engage abilities to create that pick earlier. And now it's Baron, and it's a win for top, probably. I think it's so hard to win at this point with FPX's composition. That's what we talked about. Just the longer this game goes, the tankier Tom and Rel get. And FPX just can't kill them fast enough to get Viego resets. I mean, gold carding the Tom Kench and then just getting chunked to 50% by this feels bad. Life is like, I have to save Dokdam. But he ends up inting because... Clearly, Tom Kench doesn't give a shit about that. Gives Jackie Love a huge shield. Nice kiting by Jackie Love. Gold card is in, right? Gold card comes in, but it's... He already has his ult channeling. Which I guess I didn't know that. I guess I didn't know that if you start channeling ult, it goes through the stun from Senna. It's not interruptible. Because he doesn't have cleanse. So, it doesn't even matter that he gets gold carded. Was Senna was channeling ult before TK ulted her? No, before she got gold carded. Right. See? The gold card goes out. Yeah, CC doesn't stop cast times that are already initiated. Yep. So actually the gold card does nothing there. So Dokdam using his port in to get the gold card has no effect on the outcome and actually just gets him killed. Yeah, it's mega over now. I mean, you have to make the desperation play, I guess, because you realize that nobody's going to be able to kill Jackie Love on your team at this point. So maybe you can get a reset, but they over-pursued off of the Maokai ults, and they should have just left it alone, but they had to keep going. I think at this point in the game, it's kind of doomed if you don't have a huge lead. Or you get the miracle pick. Front line too big. Tom Kench too good. The Tom Kench is such a cock block into Viego. For Viego. Such a cock block. Is Smolder bait? No, Smolder's good. Teams are figuring out ways to play into him, though, which is nice. Nobody's killing fucking this Senna ever. He thought he was so clever, he almost got it. Dukdom getting the dick. Damn. Deny soul. How old is this? What do you mean, how old is this? This match happened yesterday. When is the next episode of Power Spike? Today. They're trying so hard to give it to him, guys. The fucking Rel Penta? That is the only time you will ever see that in pro play history, guys. That's so stupid. And random. That's so stupid and random, guys. Whatever. It's just extra funny because, like I said, it requires so many things, you know, to happen. But mostly, it just requires them to not have any damage to ever kill a tank, which is a problem with FPX's composition, right? Like, how does he even get that double? What the fuck? How does he even get that damage? Because, like, it's... I don't understand what happens. I don't understand what happens to their health bars right there. So 369 comes in and slams them. I think it was just completely random that he got those kills. Because it's Aatrox Q that does most of the damage, guys. But it literally goes from this. This is the next frame. Right? So I think it's just Aatrox Q, and then maybe Bommies or a Rel Q picks this up. Yeah, it's Profane Hydra. Yeah. And it's like Profane Hydra, Aatrox into like a Rel Q probably. But it's so funny. I mean, it's impossible to kind of tell what's going on in the middle of this fucking, like, particle clusterfuck. I mean, you can see the Aatrox animation go down. He's doing his flip thing with his sword. So you can see the damage, but it is just arbitrary that Rel, either with a Q or with Bombi Cinder, gets those kills. And Tien somehow gets that kill as well. Then he Qs. That's a Q. So we know he got that one with Q. And then this one they're just waiting to give to him for lulz. Sunfire stole the Baron. I mean the double kill. Hey! You're supposed to forget about that. How dare you? Gosu. Maybe Aftershock lined up perfectly after Profane Hydra. Maybe. I mean, we'll never know, right? It is a hilarious pentakill, though, that was definitely 369's and not his. But whatever, Rel can have it. You will never see that again, though. That is the only Rel penta that will ever happen in professional League of Legends. All right. So, Fun plus Phoenix not going to give up the Senna again. Instead, they banned 3 of Jackie Love's AD carries on this side. We still see Milky Way's Kindred being banned, which is reasonable. They give the Ashe over instead. It will be Ashe and, interesting, Akali. Of course, Cream, a notable Akali player. Nautilus, yes, that makes a lot of sense. Twisted Fate. Okay, so it is going to be a flex pick. It's probably top lane, right? Probably going to be top lane. Ezreal, Ashe, annoying poke lane that they have to play into. Graves banned, so farming junglers being banned. Viego being banned, so all the farming and carry junglers kind of out of the picture right now. Gonna take Lee Sin, save their top lane pick for last. Jin Zhao for skirmishing, and Aatrox. Pretty standard stuff. So we a mid lane TF into Akali. Again, we talked about last game how the TF ult can see through Shroud, which makes it very potent into Akali. Because you can gold card her, and she can't hide. Or stun her in a variety of other ways. Not ult her, for example. Will be a, probably, you know, Rod of Ages AP, Twisted Fate in this case. Monty, when will the other regions get a direct sponsorship in their regional league? Yeah, I mean, I think the LCS Trojan sponsorship should go hard. It could be like, if you're going to get fucked like NA, do it safely. Right? Use protection when getting fucked. There's lots of good taglines. Is Wolf working both LCK and the new Overwatch League? Yes, he is. And Jax 4369 in the top lane. All right. You guys are asking the wrong questions. The real question is, why can't LFN be sponsored by Trojan? We talk about Hector all the time in our Summoning Insight post-match questions. We're a big fan of the Trojans. When will Elephant have a legal sponsorship? We have tons. What are you talking about? Most of our sponsorships are entirely legal. Everywhere. And many of our sponsorships are legal in many places.
这样直接知道盲僧开野路线了。那下半区
A law firm. Oh.
站兵后面直接出钩，勾到的是艾希，艾希这边不虚的呀，回身直接对 A， 杰克这个 Q 中了，那直接要打治疗了。这个 Q 中了不治疗，跟着对 A EZ 征服者加自己的这个咒能高涨的被动，你是很难在一级跟他对 A 的。再一勾，骗勾，上来了艾希，哎，这个 Q 空了，但是抢2成功了，右边，左边还是得退，给治疗硬压，再 A 一下，EZ 还能再 A 一下，这个 Q 能不能中？回头这个 Q，OK， 泰坦帮打，右边还是血赚，
压力太大，
右边还是血赚，
压力太。
Is it always better to go Doran's item on support? No, but with Hail of Blades supports like Ashe, you can win lanes so hard early on, and you don't really miss that many stacks by going support item as your first buy in comparison with getting lane pressure and harassment down early. So it's definitely a good pickup here. That's a great thing that you guys can do in solo queue as well. Just play fucking Hail of Blades Ashe support, all in them at level 1, and then get a support item later. Totally valid way to play the game. Is Trolley still on sponsor of LFN? Not currently, but they really liked what we did for them last year, and I'm hopeful they're going to come back for later this year. Remember, they didn't sponsor Power Spike for all of last year. It was like in the summer and into Worlds. So we're talking about the same time period for them this time around. So really appreciate their support, though. They're great.
主要这样一发展，感觉跟上把就稍微有点像了。
对，这波看看有没有机会，
真得出发吧。
还在往前走，出发了，视野看到盲僧在赶，两个人能不能撑到盲僧来？盲僧这边只有3级，因为抓了一波中路，往口子里站，盲僧过来救 ，Jackie Love 这得出发。
So this is obviously the potential downside to the pushing that you see very early on, is that it leaves you very vulnerable, and we see a full clear from Milky Way. Why is the Lee Sin so delayed here? Oh, it's because he went up on the map from Raptors Red to Krugs, and then had to run all the way back down. And he makes a pass through the mid lane. This is actually a good read by Milky Way, because he knows he's going to hit 4 before Lee Sin. Like, they see him right here. And Care has to burn Flash, but there is an opportunity now to punish the bot side. So I don't know about this strat from Top Esports, because they kind of accidentally gave a lot of prio over. It cost them a Flash, but in essence, like, 369... He's going to proxy farm a little bit here, but it gives you this opportunity to get level 4 and then gank faster. And you have volley, but I mean, the Lee Sin just can't be here fast enough. And once you get on top of them with Nautilus, it's very, very difficult. Unfortunately, he gets first blood. Pretty sure they don't want to go in on this one. Trying to trade this back. They're not going to get it, though. It's huge for Milky Way, too. We have a lot more sponsors coming up on Athletic Greens, or on Athletic Greens. That we've got Athletic Greens coming up. We've got a lot more sponsors coming up on LFN. So we have Athletic Greens coming up. We have this T-shirt company Into the AM. We're doing on some other shows. We have Manscaped coming up. We have Raycon coming up. So we got lots of stuff. We got lots of stuff. Raycon, you don't like Raycon? Well, don't buy it then. It's for people who want it. Are you still sponsored by the detergent? Earth Breeze? Yeah. We're doing a test with them. So a lot of times, guys, the way it works is we do tests first, and then we, if we do well on the tests, then they come back for more. So if you are thinking about getting Earth Breeze, please get it soon, because we're doing a test with them right now. And so if the test does well, then they come back. So we like that. I've been using it on my clothes. Seems to work just dandy. Yeah, we love Liquid IV. Liquid IV is back also for an extended period of time. They're like on SI all year, so that's great. Yeah, I use Liquid IV all the time, guys. All the time. The Windows alert on the replay, yeah. Classic esports. So obviously amazing start here for FPX, but really clever timing you can see from Milky Way, and that's just totally a response to the drive-by gank in mid lane and knowing that there'd be a timing available. How nice it is to be open and honest about sponsor relations. I mean, what do I have to lose by not being open with you guys? Like, we appreciate your support for our sponsors. We like our sponsors, guys. We've turned down sponsors. We've turned down sponsors because we didn't think they were the right fit for us. And no, I'm not going to tell you who, because like I'm not going to like shit talk companies for no reason. But there were some sponsors like we didn't like. Or we didn't think would be a good fit for you, Shallow, who's just going to proxy farm his way to death. I guess he thought the danger of potentially them doubling back here. You can just reset. It's not that big of a deal, right? Especially because he can draw pressure. Look at this. So the gank comes in again onto Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate doesn't actually have flash, but Tien isn't 6. And he has heal up because he's playing Spellbook. So he gets the speed boost from the heal. No kick yet. And so they can't finish the kill. And then they ping him. They actually ping him going up right there. So that's why we start to see the execute play from Aatrox, because they realize if Lee Sin's coming up there, then they can take the Drake for free, give up the just get the execute. Doesn't really matter. And so they make a cross map. It's a good call, I think, from FPX. Were choices like betting freeze pipe intentional ones? No, it's just like one of the advantages that we have for LFN is that we can sell sponsorships in categories that are restricted by companies like Riot. So Riot says you can't have betting sponsors, teams, or our leagues, or you can't have weed-related sponsors, or you can't have liquor sponsors, right? We don't care about any of that. I don't have ethical problems with any of those things. So if people are interested in that, then we have an opportunity to advertise and become partners. But FTX is okay, lol. Yeah, I mean, the irony is that Riot blacked out a bunch of, they have restricted categories. Oh, no, we can't have a gambling or whiskey sponsor. But yeah, FTX, giant fraud. Giant fraud, totally okay. One of the biggest frauds in the last 10 years. Nobody ever asked the question at Riot, Why is FTX willing to pay $10 million a year or whatever for fucking dying LCS viewership? Why was it so much bigger? Because it doesn't seem to follow normal market interactions when all of our other sponsorships are much lower. Why is FTX paying this ridiculous amount of money? Nobody ever thought to ask that question. Be like, maybe this is a scam. Would you be willing to take a Viagra sponsor? Sure. Or Blue Chew? Why not? What's the other one? Hymns. Yeah, I'd take hymns as well. I just love how hard they've just been trying to kill this Twisted Fate the entire fucking game, guys. And eventually they just get so tired of it that Cream just decides that he's going to commit suicide. This is the cue. He's like, fuck it. In for a penny, in for a pound. I don't chat a lot, Monty. I love your realism taking out fake Riot is. You calling out their BS is amazing. Dude, they're nothing but bullshit. It's actually insane. BetterHelp? I'm fine with BetterHelp. You get a nice sponsorship with My Protein. Dude, I would love a protein powder sponsorship. I use Ascent protein powder. That shit is fucking great. Big shout out to Ascent protein. So good. You seem desperate for a few bucks. I mean, I'm running a company with 10 million podcast downloads a year. I would like my company to be successful. And I would like sponsorships of companies that I can wholeheartedly recommend to you guys as being good products. But fuck me, I guess. Should just take some Saudi money. Did I say Gigantic is coming back? Yeah, I'm actually really excited about that. I think that game had a lot of potential, so I'm interested to see what they do with it. Thoughts on Milky Way? I think he's been really good. I mean, I really like his early pathing this game. His carry performances have been pretty legit. He seems to have a pretty strong idea of win conditions and like what his role is within a team comp. He's also just rich as fuck right now. Holy moly. I like how he's not even farming. He's like casually 6 camps behind the other jungler. Doesn't give a shit. Just farming champions. Would I ever accept a Raid Shadow Legend sponsorship? I mean, I don't see an ethical problem with that. Yeah, Kair's been pretty good too. He's been holding it down despite getting permaganked this game. On a TF, that's hard. Has Carey used his R button yet? Has he needed to? He's just been a aggro sponge in the mid lane, while Milky Way just fucking runs the show in bot lane. He doesn't have to. Besides, it's not like this TF has to get huge value out of his first ult or first, 1 or 2 ults early in the game, because his purpose is just to prevent Cream Zakali from doing fucking anything, which he'll do a great job of with his R up. Would I accept a Nestle sponsorship? Depends on the brand. I mean, Nestle owns Kit Kat, which sponsors LEC. Nestle water specifically. Yeah, maybe not that one. Yeah, I agree. Gigantic was sabotaged out of the gate by Microsoft. I was really excited about that game, and then they decided to like make it Xbox only, and then also back in the day when everyone was still using Windows 7, they made it Windows 10 exclusive on launch. So it was just, and Windows 10 was like fucked up at the time. It was not smart to switch, and so I think a lot of gamers that are more tech savvy like didn't end up playing Gigantic as a result. Like it was basically used as bait by Microsoft to like play Xbox or to upgrade to Windows 10, and that was just a bad way to release that game. So I am interested because I think the concept of a Gigantic as a game is really cool. Can I have other drink sponsors that aren't related to energy drinks? Sure, why not? We have beer, whiskey, gin, soda, but any drink, tea, whatever, coffee, yeah, whatever. The Polar sponsorship? Dude, I would love a Polar water sponsorship. Fucking love that shit. So sad I can't get it in Korea.
万能牌好像没刮到炮车。
哦，没办法，这龙杰克刮大试一下吧。那滔博就是23分钟决战，
又一次3条小龙在手，FunPlus 上一把是痛失好局，这把看看能不能把握。
It was really an excellent snowball by Fun Plus Phoenix.
不会再出现那种情况了。
来一剑，想找卡牌。
Whoop.
太难找机会了，现在滔博这个阵容，FunPlus 也懂，FunPlus 在领先之后玩的比较稳健，他们也没有给那种可以被艾希直接射到的机会。
What age did you start kickboxing? Around 25. So if you're 26, like you're saying, you can definitely start it now and you'll be fine.
FunPlus 只要拿捏住这个卡牌在单线的小优势就可以了。赵信冰心都快做出来了。
Would any sponsorship make me say no? Yeah, we have said no. If we don't think if we don't think it's like it's something we would necessarily use ourselves or think is valuable to our audience, then yeah, we say no. Is there a power spike this week? Yes, it's gonna be in like right after LPL today, so maybe like 6-7 hours from now. Did you do any sports besides kickboxing? I played lacrosse in high school, and I played polo in college a little bit.
FunPlus 只要别想不开，直接去 rua 大龙，我觉得都好说。他这阵容 rua 大龙有点慢，
毕竟是塞纳嘛。
对啊，没必要弄大龙，就不弄大龙，等龙魂就 OK 了。 把大龙视野做一做，但是没必要去动。Miko 很难受，
不敢往里做视野，得先靠一技长空，看完了才敢往前走。
是的。哦，这个眼位是隔墙被拼出来了，那这样要被排了。
Miko 现在真的就只能靠E先往里探，然后自己再往前走，再去做眼，因为也没人能陪他去做，大家都得发育。
嗯。 二塔先拿下，
两条边线来不了，伊兹尔清线慢啊！现在滔博。
What college did I go to? Vassar.
处于一个很被动的局面。
No, I didn't play water polo. I played polo with horses. What the fuck is water polo? Who plays that shit? I play the game of kings, not swimming around in a pool, fucking throwing a ball around. The fuck is that?
赵信没什么感觉，赵信
369藏一波，但是还是得就你再怎么藏也得看 Miko 的剑先手。这把滔博就只能。
Is there anything at all in Poughkeepsie? No, Poughkeepsie's a shithole. I got robbed at gunpoint in Poughkeepsie.
对，这把示意角难度太大了，黄牌泰坦的那个打断，那不好进去啊。 王森回家补装备了，龙要刷了，小奶油也2件了，滔博也知道这是最后的准备时间了。
但是密密麻麻的视野已经布置在了滔博的蓝区，而且中线上伊兹尔清线速度不算很快。卡牌刚带完一波上线，这个时候才来正面，来福直接勾正面。
He probably got robbed because he knew I played polo. You know, maybe. I'm not gonna say I didn't deserve it.
这边卡牌开大是必秒的，给了一个视野，下半区飞下来，再一个黄牌定住了 Miko 也倒了 ，BQV 再拿一个头，杰克闪现撞墙了，那走了。了一个快。
Gotta love this vision control. Honestly, a lot of these setups for FPX have been good in both games. Hook straight in, TF ult. There is no hiding. There is no hiding. Gold card right onto Mako. I mean, they're targeting all... Oh, Jackie Love fail flashes? Oh, no. Oh, that's a Baron. Shirelia TF. Yeah, he's just there to create picks, guys. He's just there to create picks. Other people are there for the damage. He's there to mow you, just to run you down. Thoughts on the Avs winning the Stanley Cup? Hope it happens again. Recent lots of discussion regarding win trading has been brought up. What, among LPL teams? Leo? Oh, they finally got Dokdam. It took all of their resources, and here comes Shalahu. Bye. Aatrox kills everyone now. They have no cooldowns. Here's the part where Aatrox kills everybody. Here he comes. Jaculov has no flash because he fail flashed. Man, I bet he wish he had flash right now. Oh, he has E. Not sure that's going to help him. Oh, he got E again? All right, he's dead. It was briefly exciting. And then FPX got sold. Really clean game from FPX, guys. I think they played really well. How fraudulent is KDF? Not very fraudulent. Come on. How could they be fraudulent? They're already massively overperforming anyone's expectation of them. Like, nobody thought they would be better than D+, or like beat D+ and KT. We're just inting now? I love it. We get Ocean Soul. I mean, they commit both TPs to this play. I love that Top Esports is willing to go after this. Now, why does Milky Way go in is really the question. He's literally walking into both solo laners. He did not have to do that. That was some happy gaming, guys. That was some peak happy gaming if I've ever seen it. Nice play by TN. But unfortunately, when you use all your cooldowns on the Senna, they're still in Aatrox. And now Aatrox has Ocean Soul, so he's literally never dying. Dokdam also just trolling, reviving, and then immediately walking into this incredibly stupid fight. And Milky Way, king of the troll right here. It's okay, it doesn't matter. They actually just can't even win the game now versus this Aatrox. The combo of Senna plus Aatrox plus Ocean Soul, there's no way Top Esports can win these team fights. Ocean Soul is the weakest soul. I mean, yeah, it isn't great, but it is really good on certain champions like Aatrox. I mean, it's just a bonus. You know, if you think about Senna heals plus Aatrox ult plus Ocean Soul, like the number of ways to actually kill Aatrox is like 0. I mean, he can just stand in front and heal up to full. Did you see a lawyer before the Supreme Court today said, "Sir, this is a Wendy's"? No. That's good. I embrace courtroom memes. What's better on Aatrox, Cloud or Ocean? Cloud. Cloud's better. But Ocean's still good. Excited for the new Dune film? No. As somebody who actually likes the Dune books, I thought the first one was not great. It was okay. Which is sad because I like Denis Villeneuve as a director. I think Arrival is a fucking banger movie. So I'm a fan of his. All right, looks like we are going to see the action. I was waiting for this game to end because it's basically over already. The other thing is, like, once Jin Zhao ults, you know, he gets massive value out of Ocean Soul too, because he can take a bunch of damage, ult, and then just heal everything back up. So Cream bails out of his own shroud, even though the TF ult goes away, so he just gets killed. Milky Way cannot be destroyed. He has Ocean Soul. Look at his healing. Look at him go. Milky Way, what was that? I love it. He's just healing. Sundered Sky plus Ocean Soul plus passive heal. Very good. Very good. Is there a champion you would never want to see in pro play? Yeah, Yumi. Obviously. Wow. Boba? Where'd this come from? Gongcha. Thank you. My wife brought me delicious boba. All right, last game today, guys. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be back. Are you guys going to watch Shogun on the Culture Channel? Probably not, because it is not a fantasy or sci-fi show. We're going to watch Constellation for Nerd Legion. We just recorded the Avatar live action show today. But I will personally be watching Shogun, so I can talk to you guys about it on here. Yeah, it was good. I actually like the live action Avatar. Where is the other channel? Right there. It's a culture channel. Last Free Nation Culture on YouTube. We released the Heat foreplay yesterday. Do you like the original Avatar cartoon? So Doa's watched all of it. I had watched a little of it. You guys have to remember, I was in college when the original Avatar came out, so I really had no reason to watch it. I enjoyed what little of it I saw, but as somebody who doesn't really have a history with Avatar, I still thought the live action version was pretty good. It's not an abomination, please. It's not. So, child actors are rough. Katara sucks. The rest of them are all right. Superman UNC. Thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. They didn't age up the Avatar actors. Nah, I think it's fine the way it is. Honestly, I thought it was like it's not. I don't think the new Avatar is like incredibly good, but I do think it's pretty good. Besides, if you don't want to watch it, just don't fucking watch it. You can still go back and watch the original show. Who cares? Thanks, you, Monty. You've kept my interest in League alive. Oh, I'm so sorry for you. I'm a criminal. There is a new one, live action one. Yeah, the new live action one is the Netflix one. Silent Symphony. Thank you for subscribing at tier 1. I appreciate you. It's as simple as someone I've watched a long time, but if you don't like it, don't fucking watch it. No, I haven't even seen the old movie. I heard it was terrible. I never watched it. No, the new live action series that's like 8 hours long that was just released like a week ago from Netflix. It's not bad. It's like pretty good. I'd say like 7 out of 10. And if you haven't watched Avatar before, I'm pretty sure you would enjoy it. I'm pretty sure. If you have watched Avatar before, you can hate as much as you want. All right, so we're back to Karma first pick here. The Kindred's still going to be banned. Lots of AD carry bans against Jackie Love. Still Callista's left up. Wow, MF as a lane bully. As a lane bully into Callista Renata. That is intriguing. I kind of am into it. Like, the Renata is not going to be strong in the laning phase, so maybe we can just get some hard lane bullying right now. Why? It's interesting they banned Poppy. It's also interesting that they take the Xin Zhao. I guess that's just because this is Milky Way. Like, you could easily take the Poppy yourself here and have incredible value into Callista. Maokai left up inexplicably very deep in the draft. So Maokai MF seems very strong in lane. You gave up on episode 4 of the live action Avatar? Dude, 4 is the worst episode by a long shot. That episode sucks. But actually 5, 6, 7, and 8 are quite good. I think the live action Avatar series it's way better in the second half than in the first, is my opinion. All right, back on the Akali. I mean, TF isn't banned here. You absolutely could just take TF here again, by the way. Play Karma top or TF top. What? All right, I did not see this coming. All right, I haven't seen a Fiora like this year, guys. I don't think. I don't think I've seen a Fiora this year. I'm trying to think. Damn, that is surprising. I'm actually really shocked we didn't try and play TF. Like, I'm surprised we didn't do TF mid, Karma top. Right? Like, that seems really strong because you have a lot of damage with a pick composition with the TF, and seems like you would get pretty favorable matchups in that case. The problem with top's composition is they're like 5 melee. They're really low range, and their only form of primary engage is Vi. So you can absolutely get mega kited by FPX. Especially with disengage from like Xin Zhao ult or Karma speed or MF ult. You can't walk into it, so if they engage, you just MF ult to discourage them, or Maokai ult, right? Also, for those of you watching on YouTube, I have enabled memberships if you would like to support me that way. Apparently, if you are on YouTube Premium, you get like free months or something. I guess it's kind of like Twitch Prime. I don't know how it works, but... And if you have Prime subs, always appreciate those. Which platform membership would be more profitable? They're the same. I have 70-30 splits on both. Because I'm on an ancient Twitch contract, guys. I'm on like a 2014 partnership. I've been like a partner for like 10 years or something like that. So I'm on the old good contract. Neptune Dweller, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. This has been a Sedge angle with melee top and mid. Yes, it definitely could have been a Sejuani angle. Still would have given you a form of primary engage. I don't know if it really solves a lot of the problems with you being highly kiteable. Thank you, Joe Nola, for your Twitch Prime sub. Thank you, Nundan, for your brand new shiny Tier 1 sub. Thank you. How is your Twitch contract never updated? Because it just kind of resets in perpetuity. A lot of people who are on the old contract, like the original contracts, are still on those. Is this Korea? No, this is LPL. It's China. Hello from Japan. Thank you. SRS show. SRUS show. I was in Okinawa not too long ago. It was great. Someday I will get to go skiing in Hokkaido and I will be happy. All right, so harassment going in favor. I mean, this is a matchup we'll be taking a look at. Obviously, I mean, Maokai not going to be too useful at level 1. New Zealand has great skiing. I mean, Hokkaido might be the best skiing in the world, so... Skiing is dog shit in Korea. You can ski, but it's all like fake snow. You know, I've skied at Pyeongchang where the Olympics took place, and it was bad. It's better than nothing, but it's like East Coast U.S. skiing. It's bad. Betraying Colorado. I mean, I've just heard amazing things about Hokkaido, and I know people have skied all over the world, and they say Japan skiing is some of the best, if not the best. Why would it be better than the Alps? The dryness and the amount of powder is supposedly crazy in Hokkaido. It's like the consistency of the powder, apparently. All right, so we're trying to get some advantage topside. We got full clears from both junglers, so nothing too much exciting yet. Not sure what this MF is supposed to do, because it's just hard losing lane and jungle path top.
位可以去吃潮虫了。对，这波是可以吃的，毕竟上路有一个兵线的优势，但是赵信也想来，
不是很想放，毕竟中路是卡尔玛有先权的。
列娜塔在赶，大叔跟女枪也都在赶。第一条潮虫，小天是可以交惩吃掉的，惩戒现在赚好了，看到赵信直接交惩，但是被赵信挂到了，反身 Q 一下触发护盾 ，Milky Way 这边3重爪击差一点，3669来了 ，Milky Way 这边好想追，恶火熟练 ，Milky Way 闪现出了恶火熟练，直接选择跟剑姬汇合，那369这边也要被打技能了，369直接选择交 E 上去，再交一个闪现，但是侧面小天已经没技能了，大树捆住了小奶油，小奶油这边要被女枪击杀了，女枪拿到一个1血，剑魔回来，虽然有列娜塔的帮助，直接选。
Let's take a look at this. All right, so we start with the grub fight here right after spawn at 5 minutes. Quick smite from Tien. Takes a bunch of damage from Milky Way. 369 faster on the rotation. So Milky Way actually flashes to the other side of him. Go after 369. He gets low, goes in. A little bit of weird. I wonder why Milky Way flashed that. Hold up. Oh, he flashes chains. That's why. Flashes Aatrox chains. Bailout not gonna proc. Double kill for Care. I love how they just move everybody into the top side for this play. Like, they moved their bot lane up at 5 minutes after they were getting bopped in bot side and get a double kill onto Misfortune. Will you and Doa review the new Halo series? I don't know, man. I'm kind of tired of reviewing garbage. Like, we had Blue Eye Samurai. We had Blue Eye Samurai recently. We had Scavenger's Reign. We had the new Avatar live action. We're doing Constellation next week, which I've heard is extremely good. We're talking about doing Ninja Kamui after that. So it feels like we have a lot of good stuff to talk about. So I'm kind of loath to do the bad stuff. I did have to watch Rebel Moon, though, which was fucking terrible. What's the prisoner? All right, so 2 grubs go over to FPX as a result of that play. They do sacrifice quite a bit of CS and plates in the bot side, though. So I'm not really understanding this MF spec. Do you guys know anything about this matchup? Because I'm not familiar with MF's current power level. I would have assumed that they take it thinking that it's going to be a lane bully into the Renata Callista lane, but it just does nothing. What platform do you review TV/movies on? It is... Sorry, you got timed out. I'm not sure why I did that. It's right here on the Culture channel. So subscribe to the Elephant Culture channel. Last Free Nation Culture. I'll post it in YouTube chat, too. Yeah. Maokai is very weak in lane. Yeah, it's a little weird. Old show from the 60s? Oh, okay. Well, we're not doing old shows right now, so... Will your Twitch monetization disappear now that you're in Korea? No. This is the last day, I think, of Twitch in Korea, though. No, I have VPN, so I'm fine. You can still watch Twitch in Korea with VPN or stream. Like, it's not going to affect the LCK stream or anything like that. They just don't want to pay for I'll talk about it in a second. All right, so Mako's and River. This is basically the same thing that we've seen them do this series, which is like set up a lot of these plays with long-range Maokai ults for picks, but there's a Kalista ult, so kind of hard to do anything with that. I guess you trade ults, but the Maokai ult more valuable in terms of actually securing this Drake. So basically what happened, guys, is that the ISPs in Korea, there's no net neutrality. So they started trying to shake down, Netflix and Twitch and other streaming companies for fees, additional fees, because they use a lot of bandwidth. And apparently the math at Twitch said that it just wasn't worth it for them to be in Korea anymore if they have to pay all these bullshit fees. So they're pulling out of the country. But it only matters if you have Korean viewership, because it's only the Korean, it's only when they use bandwidth on the Korean ISPs that they get charged fees. So because my audience is not Korean, it doesn't matter. And Koreans will still be able to watch with VPN, and anybody can stream with VPN. That's not really a big deal. They just don't want to get the shakedown from the Korean ISPs. So that's why it's happening. But, I don't think they can pay out to Korean bank accounts. But since my Twitch contract is American and it gets paid into an American bank account and my audience is not Korean, it doesn't matter for me. It does suck terribly for the Korean streamers who built up their brands with a Korean audience on Twitch, because now they have to go build up their subscriber base and their viewer base on a different platform now. So, for Korean streamers, it's fucking terrible. For Monty, it doesn't matter. So the site twitch.tv is banned in Korea. You can't view it without VPN. I do not know. It hasn't happened yet. It will this is the last day. I can tell you literally tomorrow. There's no local alternative that they're trying to protect. There is. So coincidentally, Naver just announced, which is like Korean Google, they announced their new streaming platform, and Africa also exists, right, as a Korean streaming platform, which is, Africa and Naver where most people are going to go. Does it affect the Chinese streaming platforms? I don't know. I don't know anything about the Chinese streaming platforms. All right, so this is a very late first Drake for a Kalista team. So in spite of the fact that they didn't get a kill earlier, the aggression in the bot side and use of the Maokai ult has actually prevented them from stacking Drakes, which is pretty nice. Grubs are up as well, so FPX has an opportunity potentially to get 5 grubs, which with a split pushing Fiora could be quite good. Oh, shit. Man, 369 is still so good. So he gets stunned by Counter-Strike. Fighting in the minion wave. Jalahu doesn't have ult up, though. Why is he fighting that? It's actually super weird that he decides to make this trade. All right, he could actually just walk away during the stun, but instead he dashes forward. Doesn't have ult. And Aatrox has ult. Like, what? Okay. What? All right, then, Xiaolahu. All right. Did Aatrox need a flash there? I think he was trying to do a flash predict because Xiaolahu had flash as well. Like, this is where he just wastes ult, by the way. Like, we just come up here and we just see it. We see him just, like, turn around and, like, use ults. And 369, all he has to do is just stand next to the wall. There's no real threat. Like, why is he using ult? So it's good patience by 369, but then now... So my best guess is he was trying to predict a flash, maybe? He was creep blocked after ult. Oh, after Fiora ult earlier. I still don't think he... I mean, he wasn't going to get that kill. He wasn't going to proc all the vitals. Milky Way surprisingly just not really super aggressive in this game after the initial play. Well, I guess we're going to see something here. Life has ult. Here we go. Nice kill. You're right. Good call, Turner. You're right. That's what he was doing. It's because the vital, so she procs the vital here, and the vital appears on the other side. So he's protecting the vital point so that when he actually goes, when he has his Q in, he actually lands it on the flash. Great job, Turner. That's exactly what he's doing. Good eye. It's a lot clearer when you see it in slow motion like that. I really wish you guys did something like parodies. We were actually talking about potentially doing satire for Starship Troopers. We might do satire as our next arc. We've been talking about doing Starship Troopers for a while before it like blew up as the conversation topic on the internet anyway, because I actually really think that movie's hilarious. Was this game played yesterday? Yes. My ex thought Starship Troopers wasn't a satire. Dude, nobody, I can tell you when Starship Troopers was released, nobody thought it was a satire. It got terrible reviews. People did not, like the critics did not understand that movie. It was crazy. Like, I don't know how you watch that movie and don't just laugh your ass off at what, I mean, Paul Verhoeven, it's even weirder because Paul Verhoeven is known for doing satires. Like, what do you think RoboCop is? I do not understand how that movie could have been so misunderstood when it came out.
会儿龙团看看这个武魂融合技什么时候出手。而对于滔博来讲，这个阵容还是得先拉掉大树第一波。就如果你第一波被他这个女枪加大树直接造成减员的话，那后续就没那么好打了。
龙刷了，
把先锋放了呗。这波线清完，感觉可以把先锋放了。又绕过来了，这一次小老虎离场好远 ，Q 过来，等你心眼刀，甚至都不想交锁，就想用伤害硬杀，等你闪完再一发 Q 直接锁上去，位的伤害应该是够了。最后一发平 A 拿到这个人头，甚至是小老虎亏损最大化。
By the way, I'm looking at the Rotten Tomatoes reviews right now, guys. And like so many of these reviews that give it positive reviews are from like 2020, 2019. Like, show me the fucking reviews from 97. Like, yeah, here's a bunch of them from the, like, basically 97. It got terribly reviewed in 97. Roger Ebert gave it a 2 out of 4 stars because he doesn't understand fucking satire. Roger Ebert says, the action sequences are heavily laden with special effects, but curiously joyless. That's the quote on Rotten Tomatoes. Fucking wild, man. Like, it has a 72% on Rotten Tomatoes, but that's because all of the reviews later, all of the reviews that give it positive reviews, like, look at this. I'll show you. Look at this. 2023. Fresh. 2022, fresh. 2021, 2020, 2019, fresh. This dumbass. To be fair, he says 20 years on, it says more ambition than it was given credit for. So even he acknowledges that. Then 2005, this came out 6 years after the movie. Now, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't go back to before 2000. So anything that says January 1st, 2000 is probably from 1997. And then it's got a bunch of negative reviews, right? So, yeah. I don't know. You know, I also think on Foreplay we'll eventually do an arc of like movies with like, you know, under 50%, like rotten movies that are actually good on Rotten Tomatoes. Do you know Hook is rotten? Like, I understand that Hook is not Spielberg's best film by a long shot, but Hook has aged amazingly well. Hook is fucking fire today, guys. What a great movie. Uh-oh, Cream's popping off. Look, Fiora's here and Fiora's helping. Like, you could not like Hook, but can we just admit that Hook is not, like, a terrible movie? Hook has a 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. Hook does not deserve a 29%. All right. So, 4 members here coming in because Aatrox is dead, right? Aatrox, no TP. It's actually kind of surprising that Top decides to go in on this one. But again, I mean, look how much... Milky Way's ult does a lot of hard carrying there. So there's the Renata ult coming through. Doktam just gets one shot after getting CC'd from the Renata ult, basically. Flash into Q from Akali. So he does get a pretty important shutdown right there, and he does actually scare them off the Drake. Like, Hook isn't great, but Hook is, like, pretty good. Also, I love the concept of Hook. Like, older Peter Pan, like, reclaiming his powers. Like, the concept is so good. Also, Robin Williams is fucking amazing in that movie. And Rufio rules. Yeah, Renata did very well in that fight. Catching out the MF at the end, too. Big bonus. Allowed Cream to, or helped Cream get the shutdown. Oh, yeah, Dustin Hoffman's great as Hook in that movie. Kalista ult canceled Renata's ult animation? Is that a thing? I don't know. Actually, I do not know. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, it does look like it does that. That's crazy. I don't know if I've seen that before. But if you look at how this works, he basically... See when his animation starts. All right, so he flashes out of the MF ult. And he starts the Renata animation, and he gets pulled in immediately. I guess it does cancel it. Yeah, Mako lives from bailout too, from MF dying. He started the animation before the flash. Yeah, that may have been the case too. I haven't seen an animation cancel on an ult like that from Kalista ult before. Stop rewinding. I don't think this is the stream for you, my friend. There's a lot of rewinding and figuring out what actually happened. What are these graphics? It's just the way the LPL is. The colors are super fucked up. One really wonders what the purpose of this Fiora is supposed to be. How highly do I rate Dokdom? Like, not at all. He's like, okay, I guess.
剑姬只要前面没有办法跟剑魔1v1的能力的话，只要把线带出去，太容易被抓了。
就是那个版本，你记不记得鳄鱼红怒咬晕1秒啊？然后那个对面有点任性，你咬的那个动作还没做完，对面已经晕解了。然后你那个鳄鱼开大开红怒咬一下，控的时间比咬对面还长，感觉
相当于控自己。
对啊。走出来，
俩兄弟真来配合一波吧。
我还没见过他俩配合。
对呀
，20分钟了，这个武魂融合技还放不出来。
Yeah, I think the proper play here is just to take TF like you did before and flex Karma to top lane, but whatever. Just have useless viewer instead.
两边都有关键的 AOE 控制技能。而且这把猎战塔还是有卡莉斯塔保护的，所以更可以大胆放心的往前走。
小龙又快刷了，等小龙吧。还是看团战，说白了，经济也没有特别大的差距，无非就是左边这个剑魔要更肥，但是右边有武魂融合技，而且卡尔玛的装备还是很不错的。
对，就右边这个可能团战打一波，直接把左边全部融化了。
但一旦这个大树跟女枪打出上线配合，也是不好说的。女枪现在也2件套了，无尽捏在手里。
All right, so Cloud Drake pretty fucking good for like Aatrox, Akali, Callista, right? Good for Renata too. The Aatrox or Cloud Soul pretty terrifying, so the stacking can go potentially very well here. But I think top their low range composition still worries me because the amount of like face tanking their like 5 melee comp basically has to do into Maokai and MF ult is concerning. It is concerning.
剑姬跟这个剑魔有点带不动了，他直接选择了让剑姬去上面，然后让卡尔玛去吃剑魔推过来的线。
小龙刷了 Milky Way 想帮兄弟找回场子，这龙豆直接不要了，金牌龙说放就放，直接捅上来，小奶油有损5，加上啊。
Thoughts on crit MF? I would definitely rather have lethality MF against this composition. Like, who the fuck is going to build tank? I guess Vi does, but who cares about Vi? Right? Whoops. Tian? Nice dodge on the Renato ult. All right, huge. Whoops. Bela gets procced on Jackie Love because he kills Fiora. Pretty big overcommit, though, just to take a tier 1 in mid lane. You lose the global red buff and tier 2 in mid. Thank you, Wea, for your Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate it. Really good dodge on the Renata ult. Fiora forces the cleanse off. I mean, Fiora did do stuff in that fight, technically, guys. And it doesn't matter if the Fiora dies, really. Will we? That's funny.
打团里面就尤其得看滔博这边怎么样开到好团了。
但我是觉得滔博这个阵容打下去手比较短，是就这2个阵容比起来的话， 方 plus 打到中后期一个拉扯的能力要更强一点，毕竟有卡尔玛这样的英雄存在，而滔博还是要开就得一波进去，毕
里面把团开一下，因为如果这个双招撞好了，又会陷入上一波一样的。
Time for Xiaolahu to get ganked again. Here comes Vi.
抓波小老虎吧，反正现在没什么事情干，先抓一波小老虎 ，Q2 也拍起来了，亵渎九头蛇主动效果，往回走扭 Q3，但是魏又来。
Does Vi even have to use ult? Misses Q.
那这样应该要被锁了。
Uses ult just to prevent vitals from being procced. All right. Do you give up Baron, though, for this? Nope.
拍一拍，对啊，你不是搞自己吗？一会儿一个恶意收购来了，只能拍一拍。还是这把小天抓住了对面刷出来的一个破绽。
Isn't that a song? Yes, Here Comes Vi is a song.
小老虎带线一直想要跟这个369弄一弄，其实
有卡莉斯塔他就不怕。
这把小老虎被突破了，下路2塔也没了，有杀人，
而且敏锐的抓住了这个机会，在中期频繁的找了小老虎。
这杰克也太能补了，这27分钟300，借攻也快出来了，杰克这边回去借攻3件套的卡莉斯塔。
Oh, this game's not been very exciting, guys. The last game was such a smooth win from FPX.
如果那个位置被大树占住，滔博可以去换大龙。就这个位置是对滔博来说比较难受的，毕竟大树先把那个位置占住，你一往下面挤，被大树开个大就难受了。
而且他们有卡莉斯塔，
真可以换大龙，这吃了。偷偷摸摸的过来看看，你是不是一个人在打，我下来把他整掉。
Okay, here we go. Cloud Soul possibility.
要接盘吗？也有点忌惮大树的位置。要接盘，要接盘。这一波在上半区把人勾走。
Cloud Soul's so huge on Aatrox. They cannot give this up. They give it up.
龙直接被小天给
Okay.
而且大树大拿到小天一个人，侧面剑魔过来了 ，BQB 好像有点要被留了，选择往下走跟队友做汇合。而滔博这边也知道剑姬在上面带，那既然这样，先回去回手剑姬。
交替直接去做一个防守，上路2塔被拆掉，剑姬应该是能走吗？所有人都包过来了，方 plus 现在可能也要去做回追，
这咋走啊？这咋走？
They're going after him again.
走了呀 ，Q 回去，阿卡丽来了 ，W 先交了，只能1打2，交一个闪现，这个闪现闪完之后往下 Q。
The great chase begins. You do not escape from that. They're just pushing mid. Wait. Okay, so they go for Xiaolahu in the top side. And FPX is pushing mid. They're at Baron. They're starting Baron. They cannot do Baron quickly. Why are they doing Baron? There's 4 of them in the base. What? They just lose the game? What the fuck? What? What? What a meme game. Zhao Lahu actually just inted his way. He mind controlled them with inting into winning this game. Oh, by the way, Life here with the massive plays. Look at him go. He literally comes up here and he stops a recall. He cancels a recall from Aatrox. And then he just wanders around, stopping all of the recalls. So it's only Cream in the base. What a baller call from FPX. What a baller call. That is amazing. That's honestly such an amazing call. Because look, Zhao Lahu is useless this entire game. Still takes 2 people to kill him. They gave up Cloud Soul. They literally go for the Hail Mary play here. They go for the Hail Mary play. They know they're not going to win this game. And so they literally start pushing with 3 people. Send the Maokai back. Right? There's 2 recalls coming in. Cream gets his off first. The Baron is super slow, so the Maokai has to go in, gets the recall cancel on the Aatrox, just starts CCing them to be annoying. Cream uses Zhonya's under turret, and they actually just end the game because even though the Baron goes down, it's just slightly too late. Damn. That was Galaxy Brain. The Fiora pick was simply as bait, guys. The Fiora was supposed to go 0-7 to bait them into Baron and then losing the game. You know what that is? That's a macro blast right there. How often do you see that? How often do you see that? A team that's 4v5 just winning the game after a pick. That's hilarious. What a crazy ending. Great call from FPX. All right, guys. That's going to be it for today. What do we got tomorrow? We got, well, potentially BLG and JDG. That's about all we got going on because LCS is on their, endless vacation at the moment. And LEC already finished their first split. And we don't have LCK for another day. So we'll see if we stream tomorrow, guys. I might take a little bit of a break, but maybe I'll come back. Thank you. That's very nice of you, Sanctos. All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow or the day after, depending on how things go. So catch you later.